What's good, everyone? Welcome to Rafi's Desk. Thanks for tuning in. This is an interview with our boy, the founder of Crystal Pump, back from the dead after getting ripped off by a shitbag manufacturer. We talk about Limp Bizkit, a little bit of adrenochrome, and how Aaron Singerman from Redcon 1 helped bring back the Crystal Pump Preworkout, as well as some general tomfoolery. This is the first interview I've done in a minute, but without further ado, here is Strongman Steve, the founder of Crystal Pump. Are you from Florida?
Yeah, one of the few. Most people are from somewhere else and move to Florida.
Yeah.
Growing up, I'd say that 3/4 of my classes was always somebody from out of state, which means they're always talking shit about Florida, and so it's ironic now that everybody's like, "Oh, Florida's the best. Florida, fuck you."
I feel that.
You used to talk so much shit. They'd always be like, up in Michigan, the way that the lights turn. How about fuck Michigan?
I agree. Fuck Michigan. It's a worthless fucking state. Between that and Indiana. So, everybody talks, shit about Ohio, and even, people in Ohio, just for, if there'd be nothing to do, even though it's a decent amount of cities, decent amount of stuff to do. But what's really depressing is, Indiana. I drove through there one time. I don't know, have you ever been?
I've driven through it, dude. It's like shitty Ohio.
Yeah, it is. It's everything that the Ohio memes try to make Ohio out to be.
Literally Indiana.
Because the speed limit's 50 on normal roads or whatever the hell wherever I was. And the cops, I didn't get pulled over or anything, but the way that the unmarked cars are allowed to be disguised is fucking insane. They look like total normal cars until they start lighting up. They're all blacked out and shit, so it's kind of obvious, but stupid.
Dude, it's I never speed around American cars. That's just my go-to. They're never driving foreign. If they're in a Nissan, you're good to go. I've never seen it.
Yeah, Nissan is gonna be somebody else behind that wheel is a worse driver than you are. 10 out of 10
They're gonna T-bone you. Yeah, they're gonna T-bone somebody. Yeah. I don't know if they just market specifically to scumbags or what the deal is with Nissan.
I think it is. Well, and there's they're cheap. I think I looked up one time why they were cheap. I didn't really get an answer, but
they used to be sporty cars. I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the Mitsubishi Eclipses. I see cool ones every now and again. And I didn't realize how big of a focal point it was in, I think it was the second Fast and Furious movie. I'm like, damn, that's actually a really cool car. But prior to that, anytime I saw one, it was just dusty, fucked up,
dude,
and just some shitbag driving the car.
When I was a kid, Eclipses were so cool. I was a little kid. They were probably still seen as totally gay to adults, but I thought they were so cool. The Fast and Furious movies, dude, it was badass.
Yeah,
it's a different time to be alive.
It do. Well, I have 3 of the Fast and Furious movies. I found all my DVDs at Goodwill. It's fantastic. They have so many good fucking movies.
Gas stations. If you're trying to find DVDs, gas stations have got them on lock.
What kind of fucking gas station? What kind of fucking gas stations you guys have in Florida? I mean, they probably do have them in Ohio here, but or maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. That's also possible.
Dude, it's because you're not looking. Nobody's looking at gas station DVDs.
Yeah. Well, I found Walmart is very hit or miss, but I did find one. I got it's two DVD packages, and it had the 4 of the Friday the 13th, and then 5 Jason Statham movies. I heard that the Crank movies were just funny and dumb, but cool. So I was like, all right, we're getting Crank 1 and Crank 2. So.
Dude, both movies are badass. They look like they're filmed on they look like they're filmed on a 2000 cell phone, but they are badass. It's some of the worst film quality you'll find. I actually really want to remake Crank for Crystal Pump, and it'd be that if you don't get a pump, your heart the poison will reach your heart. Whatever it needs to be. Jersey Max obviously being the call-in.
Yeah. What's the actual I guess what's the plot of Crank?
Dude, he just gets I don't know if it's gambling debts or what. These guys fuck you, bro. I'm gonna inject you with poison, and he's fuck, he's got me in poison, and I'm bald. And he calls up his boy. He's like, hey, I got injected with this stuff, and he's like, brother, you're fucked. If you don't keep your heart rate above 150 beats per minute, you're gonna drop dead. So you need to keep your adrenaline high. What does that mean? Means you need to fuck some chicks. And he's like, say no more. It's basically the movie.
Now I
get into fights.
Now I definitely need to fucking watch it. That sounds hilarious,
dude. It's nonstop. It's sick, and like the action in it is beyond nonsensical.
Yeah, I think.
Like if you thought that Die Hard 4 was crazy, then if you thought Die Hard 4 was out of control, then this is gonna blow your mind.
Die Hard 4.
Dude,
is that
Live Free or Die Hard?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I've seen that. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do remember it being fucking good. I was probably like
back when movies meant something, dude.
But you're not wrong though. Like I think it was I saw something the other day that it was like whenever Shawshank Redemption came out, it was like that and 3 other like really good movies were all out at the same time. It's like
Shawshank, the Tom Hanks movie, fucking Forrest Gump.
Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, those were the same year.
I don't know if that was one of them. I'm really trying to remember.
It could be one of those movies, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was maybe something like that. I can't remember.
Dude, just wild shit. It was my favorite movie when I was like 3 or 4. Was Forrest Gump. It was totally inappropriate for me to watch it.
Oh yeah,
but I loved that movie. It was that and a Goofy movie, and Scooby Doo meets the Boo Brothers. That was my repeat. That's all Grandma had.
That's how it's done. How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. Okay, got you. 24. Almost 25. We're in the kind of the same-ish range. We're like media, like we're familiar with the same types of media, so that's.
It's I get some stuff before, some stuff that to me is pretty unimportant is probably like super cool to you.
Probably.
Like some things to you would be like, what the hell are you talking about? And other things to me would be like, really, that was cool.
Well, the big debate, and I know nothing about this. I wasn't listening to nu metal back in the day. But this is going to be on the nu metal episode. But so you'll probably remember. Did people actually think Limp Bizkit was bad, or that they sucked, or what are your thoughts on it?
So the mainstream media hated Limp Bizkit.
Okay,
hated Limp Bizkit, and it was very popular to hate Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
In fact,
kind of like the whole Nickelback thing. It's like Nickelback sucks. In like the
kind of like that.
But was it different?
It's a little bit different though.
Okay.
Yeah, because like Limp Bizkit, like cause for me, Limp Bizkit was my favorite band.
Yeah.
Especially because they're from Jacksonville.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, Fred Durst is from North Carolina or whatever, but the band is from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That's where like the Matthews Bridge. That's from that's one of the bridges in Jacksonville. And
I thought it was like a music reference or something because I did bridge music, but no, it's a real bridge. All right, sick.
Yeah, it's taken them to the Matthews Bridge. It's in Florida. I mean, I don't know if it was maybe even bigger in Florida, but I loved Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit was huge, but people hated Limp Bizkit. And one of the funny stories about Limp Bizkit is there were these patches that were very popular that said Limp Bizkit sucks.
Yeah.
And it turned out that they were actually produced by Limp Bizkit.
Fuck yeah.
So they profited off of the hate for Limp Bizkit. But like, if you read mainstream media articles, they thought Fred Durst was talentless. They thought the band sucked. And they're completely fucking wrong. They could not be more wrong. And for me, I was really into hardcore music when I was older, and they all pretended to hate Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And now they're all like, bro, they're all super into it. And it's like, yeah, you fucking fake.
Fucking
phony.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think I was looking like they're touring in like everywhere except the U.S. I mean, and maybe that's why I made just like the PR damage of too long. But it seems like people are starting to appreciate it now, which is nice.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Because it's so unique, and it's kind of nu metal, rap rock, whatever you want to call it. Kind of did kill rock and roll in a way.
Yeah, fair enough, but.
In a way, but it was sick, man. I think that's not necessarily what killed it, but it could be part of why rap became the default media.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that it's a lot cheaper. It's expensive to pay a whole band.
Yeah,
but you just have to pay one
and to find people that can play the fucking instruments.
Yeah, and there's a whole team. Whereas with rap, you've just got one dude.
Yeah,
and you've got a producer that you probably own the life of. Like you've probably been torturing their family members or whatever to get them in that position.
Just buy some beats and you're good to go.
Out. Yeah, dude. I mean, they're on pure adrenochrome making beats.
That's a whole other conversation, but you might be fucking right.
Underground in Hollywood, brother. It's the fucking story. I watch Larry Johnson on. Dude, if you're not familiar with Larry Johnson, you might not want to
don't.
go into that rabbit hole, dude. It's
Larry Johnson.
now we're getting into like bordering on flat Earth type stuff.
Larry Johnson, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Larry
If you
Johnson,
really
like
want to feel,
the basketball player.
he was a football player, and
Larry
I
Johnson,
remember him. He
running
was,
back. Okay.
yes, he has the most fucking insane social media I've ever seen. I mean, it's not even close. He's way crazier than flat earthers.
Oh god. Oh, is he on like the adrenochrome stuff or?
Yeah, I mean, I tried listening to his podcast. He believes that there's like a angels and demons battle happening right before our eyes and all around. It's insane, and like he takes like Q-spiracy well beyond whatever you thought was possible. And who's my market for Crystal Pump? People who find humor in people like Larry Johnson.
Indeed, fucking schizo. Yeah.
Now you see.
Now you see. I had no clue. Wait, what's he like popular on? He's got like 7K followers, unless I'm on the wrong one. Well, no, it's got to be because Shaq follows him.
Larry 22 Johnson. Larry 22 Johnson.
Oh, that's
Larry's not have more than 7,000 followers. Let me just look at this page. I think it's Larry 22 Johnson. It is sad if I know that off the top of my head. Sorry, 2 Larry Johnson 7.
Oh, 2 Larry Johnson 7. Okay, LJ. Cool. Okay, that looks right. Oh, he's got a video about the Maine shooting. Huh.
I can't imagine. He's going to go through the numerology. He's going to go through the Babylonian priests. I mean, this shit he is insane.
Yeah.
Well, and he's just totally like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I haven't, like, looked into that whole, like, Maine thing, but, like, the only details I've seen is the shit about, like, the gun regulation trying to push through it. The next day this happens, and then he's found with 2 self-inflicted gunshots in the back of the head. I haven't actually read anything. Those are just little clips that I've seen. And if I'm being honest, the
CCTV footage doesn't look anything like him.
Oh, the CCTV footage?
Like when they post the person of interest and they post his picture and they've got the picture of the shooter, they don't even look similar to me. But the CCTV footage, I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes it looks like shit. And who am I to say what he does or doesn't look like?
Oh yeah,
but, I mean,
it's just it's because they don't have to fucking care. They can just run this shit over the news and it's fine.
It looks like when you look at his Facebook post too. I mean, it looks like it was written by the FBI, dude. It's so stupid. Like,
did he have like a manifesto on his Facebook?
It was like, according to his Facebook post, it's like entirely racially motivated. I'm going to show these non-whites what it's like, all this stuff. I'm like, bro, you went to a bowling alley. Yeah, you're in a bowling alley.
Who the fuck you think? Yeah, a bowling alley in Maine.
Yeah, is there a single victim that wasn't white? It doesn't like it doesn't add up at all.
Holy shit!
Like, I'm gonna go kill some minorities. I'm out for the fucking bowling alley. Get out of here, dude! Like,
Maine, USA.
Either he's retarded, which is he's if he committed a mass shooting, he's retarded anyway. But
yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It's just like that one kid in Buffalo who was like, "I'm gonna kill all these minorities," and then he goes and shoots a bunch of white people at the grocery store. Like he didn't.
It probably went into Whole Foods.
Yeah, it's like if this is a motivating factor, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Let's see. What kind of gun did the Maine gunman use?
Probably exactly what they're trying to ban.
Yeah, literally. And then you look at that.
He escaped on a jet ski.
Huh?
Did you see that they claimed that he escaped on a jet ski?
No, but that's super fucking cool. Rip to everybody, but it's pretty cool. But also a normal thing. What kind of deranged mass shooter doesn't have a jet ski waiting for them so they can just speed away? It's not like a movie.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fake at all. Just like the Vegas shooter, it sounds completely real.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother thing. And that's like, that just went away. And there's not, and obviously, like, we can, people can talk about it all the time, all the shit that doesn't make sense, but like, nothing's done. I don't know what we can do.
And they're like, oh, we found a motive for him. Oh, what was the motive? He was depressed. What? That's not a motive.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go spend a bunch of money that I probably don't have on a nice hotel and a lot of guns. And
I'm going to carry like 13,000 pounds of equipment through the Mandalay Bay and not get caught on any cameras. I've been to the Mandalay Bay. Yeah. It is covered in cameras. I mean, it's a casino.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's nowhere. I mean, Fort Knox has probably got less security than a casino. Doesn't make any fucking sense. You know, the Crystal Pump podcast, it's just going straight to conspiracies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So when? Yeah. Is that like in the works or is it already up?
Now, you know, the thing with podcasting that's tough is like you have to have a message. Like I'm kind of it's a weird thing. Like I recognize it's kind of annoying even. Like when I'm talking to people there, it's like, dude, you've got to have a podcast. You've got to have a podcast. You know, like you've got a great voice, you're funny, you're interesting, blah blah blah. I'm like, well, the thing with a podcast is you have to have a message. I can't just go on there and start talking. It needs to be about like growing my business or fitness or current events, whatever it is. There needs to be a message to get people to actually show up, or it's interviewing people. You know, like So it's if I had a setup where I could like interview people, kept things on track. You know, it's I feel like podcasting is a good medium for me.
Yeah.
However, I don't have necessarily the skills and planning to put together a good podcast.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I feel that like I think like when I first started the Monday Iron account, I was like, all right, cool, we have the Instagram, so cool, we need to have a podcast. Every podcast, you got to be on like the audio only space, and I did like a couple interviews, but even just like switching through, like if I had like switch to videos or if I had like switch mics or something like. That's tough to do on my own. Like I had I don't even think I posted this interview, but the Protocol guys, the anabolic alcoholic brand. Like I think I had them we just set up mics around my table, and I was trying to like switch through screens, pull up clips while trying to talk at the same time, and it's fucking tough. And then I just like stopped for a while, just because it was. I kind of either ran out of things to say or like people to talk to, and I like it was trying to schedule all that shit like took time away from the core part of the business, which is just memes and merch and stuff like that. I'm like, what's the point? And now for this, I'm just trying to mix in the music with just like a little bit of like talking, and then eventually like the music might get phased out. We'll see. But I did an accidental bait and switch with my Spotify profile because there's like almost 900 followers. It's at like hundreds of thousands of plays on the fucking profile because I posted those like the Mike Mentzer audiobooks. So like a ton of people come for those, and I have a couple other things like the Natty Anthem because I just wanted to be able to put it on my own Spotify playlist. So my stats are juiced there. So if you want to buy a Spotify account, let me know. But
that's hilarious. Yeah, you know, I've listened to Heavy Duty. I've gone through the Mike Mentzer phase, through his different years of ideas, and honestly, man, he's an amazing speaker. I do not think that if you're following it the way he says to do it, it is a terrible program. Yeah, because you're only working out like sometimes once every 14 days. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, see, and I see what you mean, and I haven't I've been reading into it as well, and I'm not following everything to a T, because what I think is part of it is the mental thing. Like I think I can try to go to failure and have that level of intensity, but I don't think I'm at the point now. I think there is a world where a one set could work. Who's to say it can't, right? But to get to that level of fucking intensity for it to work, I think that's the tough part. Well, my mental is just not there. I don't know.
It's fun. I'll say first and foremost, it's fun. Definitely. But I'm also not fucking doing it once a week. You know, one. It's not just once per body part per week. He legitimately means once per week of anaerobic exercise, and that's ridiculous. Yeah. But if you just do like one set per exercise, it's a lot of fun, and you can make some progress. Yeah. You know, like. Yeah. But more than anything, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the part that people...
I'm working out 4 days a week for sure. You know, fuck that.
Yeah, eat like 4 or 5. That's pretty much like what I'm doing. But like the main principle to me makes sense. Like with the overtraining and shit like that. If you're not like enhanced, like if you're natural, giving yourself enough time to actually recover. And that's what I noticed, mainly with kind of using, like adopting some of those principles rather than doing chest 3 times a fucking week. It would ended up being like once or like twice on some weeks with different muscle groups. But it also worked better with my job, because it's manual labor stuff. So I am moving around all the time and all that. I felt like it took a little longer for me to recover. But
and they're fast. You're done in 30 or 45 minutes.
Yeah, which is good for like morning workouts, like right before you hit anything, which is nice.
Yeah, sure. And it's all kind of in line with like that, because all of his workouts here are meant to be done on like Nautilus machines.
Yeah.
Which is like the worst. It's so dated. It is so dated.
Is it?
Yeah, like if you're doing like just because it's like the Nautilus machines are all based on the Colorado experiment. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah, it's
where
Casey.
They claimed that guy
Casey Viator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's complete bullshit. It's outrageous. It's ludicrous.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they claim that he got down to like 2.5% body fat or something, and not only is that impossible, but we've got eyes, and we can see that didn't happen.
Yeah. Actually, let's look up,
he gained a fuck ton of size clearly, but like the before and after picture, they always talk about how much lean body weight he gained. Because if they just talk about the body weight percentage that he would have been at, it's like 2.5% or something. It's impossible. And for the researchers not to notice that, they're either retarded, or lying. Like it's so.
Yeah,
and it's kind of the same thing with Mike Mentzer. Is like either he recognizes that study was dog shit. He references it all the time.
Yeah.
Either he's lying or stupid, and it is really tough when you're a big Mike Mentzer fan to admit that one of those two things has to be true.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean, because like I've seen a lot of like really smart guys that like follow and like use the train and all that. They're also there are also some complete morons on that side. But it's also the same is true for like the volume people that swear by it and all that shit. But
dude, volume tards.
More is better.
Dude, it's and I always hate it when somebody's like, it's always somewhere in between. It's like, yeah, we're talking about two fucking extreme things. No shit, it's somewhere in between. Like because it's so like cliche when somebody's like, the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Yeah, of course. Like we're not. Well, then when somebody's talking about like two things that are pretty similar, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. I'm like, I don't know. One of them's probably true. They're pretty close.
Yeah.
Right. One's probably more true than the other.
Yeah.
Enough of this fucking fence walking bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Mentzer, I mean, his physique was so amazing too. It's why it's tough to not fall in love.
Yeah, because it was fucking dense as fuck. Like that's one of the things I like about it. And I heard like when I was listening to this one interview with Franco Columbu, and it makes sense because like Franco was like 5'4", 5'3", that he didn't want like the density, how he just kind of had his like he is up there, just kind of like lean because on a smaller frame.
Yeah, he believed that the heavy lifting got him a different level of density than what he considered to be light lifting that the Mentzer brothers did.
Yeah.
Even though when Franco Columbu won in what was that, 81 or 80? It was 81, right?
I believe it was 80. I think it was 81 and 82 because I know he won it twice. It
was the year that he had horrible gyno that Mike Mentzer got ripped off. He had no business winning that year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then there's the whole thing about the politics of there's the politics of the IFBB and whether Arnold did something there, and then because I think Franco retired after those wins.
Yeah.
So if somebody pulled the strings to get someone pulled a string to get a favor in for Franco or something like that. The first thing that comes up when I look up Franco Columbu Olympia wins. Who should have won the 1981 Mr. Olympia? That's funny.
Yeah, because like his gyno was terrible.
Well. Huh.
Yeah, ton of guys got screwed.
Yeah,
because I mean he shouldn't have even been top 5 that year. I mean it was a crazy year, really. When you look at who was competing and what their physiques looked like that year at that show, and Columbus was ass.
Yeah,
even on the podium, second had a crazy physique.
Yeah, I'm looking at side by side with Danny Padilla or Padilla. I don't know how you say it. Tom Platz. Who else is in there? Here's Jessup Scott. I think is the name of the Greek-looking guy. Yeah.
Or did Mentzer retire after 1980 when Arnold screwed him?
Yeah, I don't
And
think
he was
I don't
because
think he returned
Platts
after
got
that.
third. Yeah, because Platts got third in 81, right? These are the only eras of bodybuilding I care about whatsoever as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I've been looking more into, like, I've been pretty much the same way. I've been looking more into, like, when Dorian was winning. I think that's really interesting what he brought. And, you know, also a hit guy happens to be, but.
And it's also totally different than how Mike Mincer did it.
Yeah.
Like, they are not similar. Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah, because he did a fuck ton of, like, drop sets. Like, his high intensity training is way higher intensity than Mincer's.
Okay.
And he worked out way more often.
Yeah.
And Dorian doesn't really give any credit to Mike Mincer, and Mike Mincer takes some credit for Dorian. So it's a little bit confusing what what the actual crossover is.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Because it's tough because Mincer's dead.
Yeah,
and he's been dead for a long time, so it's tough to actually figure out what happened.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Because I am remembering that I do remember Dorian being mentioned in a lot of Mike Mentor's stuff, but now I'm trying to. I can't really remember if Mike's really mentioned much in Dorian stuff. And granted, most of my media consumption with Dorian is mostly just Instagram and YouTube, so
yeah,
that doesn't say much.
You know who's good from like pre-air stuff? Like Golden Era Bookworm is amazing. I don't know if you follow him on YouTube.
I don't,
but he's got so much content. It's actually probably like the number one page I'd recommend when it comes to like interesting things about bodybuilding. Would be Golden Era Bookworm, because he just straight up reads the old articles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily full of fluff. He has like fluff video. I mean, he's got a pretty large YouTube page, so obviously he's got a lot of like random shit.
Yeah.
But what, like learning about like Frank Zane stuff or
oh yeah, cause I'm looking at his header. He just has a bunch of the old just muscle magazines. Like it just says muscle at the top before any of the other shit.
And he sells like reprints of those magazines, I think, and like PDFs and shit. Like I think that's probably how he makes his money. But he's got some interesting stuff. Like I'm actually going to follow because things are so stale. I feel like, and the more you learn about lifting, and the longer that you're in it, the more the magic dissipates because you realize that it really doesn't matter. It's just the same. All steroids.
Yeah, it's just pick a fucking path and then do that for years.
Yeah,
that's it.
And there's not.
That's why lifting podcasts are so fucking hard. Like Matsonomics is a fantastic job, but like me trying to play and you like trying to plan this stuff, it's like what can I talk about that isn't like that doesn't feel stupid or does it feel like anything that's been said 70 times.
Well, dude, one of the things I'm going to kind of do is like re-explore the magic for myself. And I think that for a YouTube page, what I'm going to do is kind of bring people along for the journey. Because, the most exciting thing about working out is that era where everything is mysterious, it's fun, and it's interesting. Back when a superset versus a compound set, which one should I be using? When should I be eating? Yeah. Is it really better for me to eat brown
negative reps?
Rice? Should I... Yeah, and you're learning all that shit, and then it kind of turns out I'm like, I really just have to follow a program where I'm adding weight over time and changing exercises to prevent injury, not to change the angle or any of this other shit.
Yeah.
But becoming in a way willfully ignorant, because logically speaking, the 36 egg a day diet is stupid.
The 36 egg a day diet. I don't know if I've heard of that one.
Yeah. So it's a it's what's his name? It's not Frank Zane. It's what's his name? He's a huge name. Vince Granda. Glad I found that. Glad I found it before I had to search it. But it's a Vince Granda diet, and what he claims is that it's the equivalent of low dose D-ball. And what you do is weeks 1 through 2.
Interesting claim to make. Huh?
It's a very interesting claim, and it's all raw eggs, which
it's all raw eggs. You don't even fucking cook them.
Scientifically speaking, that's 50% uptake of protein because of the lack of bioavailability. Fuck you, twink. I'm going to eat my 36 raw eggs. So what you do is you make weeks 1 through 2. It's a dozen eggs. So 12 eggs and 12 ounces of half and half.
Oh.
And a scoop and a half of protein mixed into a shake. And you drink it. To get your system used to drinking 12 eggs.
Okay.
Weeks 3 through 4, you double it. And weeks 5 through 8, you up it to 36. And the research this is based on is on burn victims, which those of us who have looked at research before, you should not use obscure populations as equivalent to healthy populations. But I don't care. I'm going to see, because I should get fat. Because this is, from the shakes alone, that's 4,500 calories for weeks 5 through 8. My baseline is like 2750-ish.
Yeah.
So I should get fat. However, we'll see. And just experiment with some of these things, because like, you know, it's the fun is the fun is in the journey.
Yeah.
And the fun gets taken away when you're only following like fucking what's his name? The guy who's always cheating on his wife. Doctor natural bodybuilder, was a very successful powerlifter. What's his name?
Trying to think who cheats on their wife.
He has a very dated faux hawk haircut. He lives in Tampa. It's
V-Shred?
No, it's what's his name? No, he's an actually respected person in the world of health and fitness.
Yeah.
Did you know the V-Shred annual plan is $16,000? But
damn, bro is hurt.
I'm dead serious.
I got his fucking YouTube ads. I started getting those again a couple months ago. I thought the world was rid of him, but apparently not.
It's because now he's selling a $16,000 program. He's got to get you into his funnel. It's fucking what's his name? What the fitness? It's what's his name? He's
bodybuilder that cheats on wife. Hey, it auto completed. Hold on, we might have something.
If he comes up, that'll be epic.
Damn it. Nah, it's just dumb fucking YouTube pranks like bodybuilder catches his wife cheating on him. Fuck that.
Elaine Norton.
Elaine Norton, I know that name. Is that the Bio Lane guy, or is that different?
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's just so smug. But it is everything he says is logically based. But he's so smug. He's so anti-fun. And sorry that I'm not genetically gifted enough to squat 700 or whatever he did.
Yeah.
You know, like, fuck you. I don't care that this doesn't make any sense. What you really should be following is this progressive plan where for 12 weeks, shut up. I'm going to run the steak and eggs diet after this. Or the Hawaiian reducing diet. Just, have some fun with this stuff again, because the reality is that even though scientifically speaking, none of this shit matters and it's all a gimmick, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. And
it's just not fun. It's boring.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the boring. I want the fun. I want the thrill. I want to be Eric Bugenhagen eating raw garlic.
Yeah,
till he pukes. He
keeps it fucking fun. It's
fun.
Huge.
And
man,
I just want to. I want to have fun with what I'm doing again, because it's kind of, especially because I've been off of. I was only running 150 a week test, and then I went down to 125, and I didn't feel anything. It was also a pretty shitty test. Okay. I was like, fuck it, I just won't take anything. And so it's been 3 months of zero test, and so it's even more boring still, because like now I'm having to do pseudo natural training.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because you'll never be actually natural again, right? Or is that?
That's the way I feel about it. You can, even though, and that's what kind of sucks about never doing a lot, is that I'll never be natural again. But I've also never had the like cool feeling of running a cycle. I've only ever done low dose.
Okay.
And I also think it's such a cop out when somebody's like, "Bro, I only ran TRT." I'm like, "Dude, you run 500 a week. That's not TRT.
That's not replacement therapy. That is
double what I was running, and I would consider what I was running. 250 is no doctor is prescribing more than 175 a week.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, maybe somebody is.
Yeah, how is your stuff? How do you? How's like the recovery from that? Because obviously, someone who's like, I've never like taken shit, but like in my head, just logically, it's like, all right, you're putting all this exogenous shit in. How long does it take for your body to actually like recover and start producing shit naturally? Or like, would you have to run it for like years before your body actually shuts it down? Because I don't know shit about like roids.
Dude, I always just taper off. Dude, I've never actually taken any products to PCT. I've always just like tapered down and just stopped. And it's about a month of like terrible energy, terrible sex drive.
Okay.
And then you're basically fine. In my experience, but I've never run a serious cycle. Yeah, I've never run a serious cycle. So for me, like I don't know the reality of steroid abuse, I guess. I mean, what I was doing was abusing steroids for sure.
Yeah.
But compared to other people, I mean, especially in strongman as a sport,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I say as though bodybuilding isn't even. Bodybuilding's way worse.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you have to, because it's literally you have to make certain shit bigger.
Yeah, and it's it's kind of a chemistry experiment, like because bodybuilding, you're stacking these drugs for this time period. You're timing your orals like this.
Yeah.
I will say, man, when it comes to feeling fucking crazy, orals are insane.
Okay.
Like when I took Superdrol, I mean, I went from failing a 275 bench to benching 300 in 3 weeks.
Jesus. Damn.
Gained 20 pounds. Felt horrible because it is apparently an extremely potent drug.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll never be natural again, and that's kind of like the thing that I don't really care. I'm not hurt if somebody's like, Strongman Steve's not natural. He's not natural. He's not natural. I don't really care. Like,
yeah, it's like I'm still stronger than you. Don't care. Didn't ask. Like,
yeah, and even if there's hundreds of teenagers who are stronger than me naturally, I just don't care. I just don't care. Does not bother me if somebody's like Reuter. All right, don't care. It just kind of is what it is. It's like you're selling a product, but your body's built in steroids. If you say so. I
Still
I
big.
don't really care.
Doesn't matter how I got the arms.
Yeah. But yeah, doing things, without the use, especially once you're on steroids, it makes it even easier to lose the magic because it is significantly more worthwhile to, it's significantly more worthwhile to take more drugs.
Yeah.
Significantly. There's no second place. It's significantly more productive to take more drugs.
Yeah.
I've known people who kept a solid physique just by perpetually running 500 of tests. His sperm count was 0.
His nuts will never work again.
It was a lot of work for him to be able to have kids. But he had a solid physique and worked out twice a month.
Huh. Did he end up having kids? You said it was tough, but did he end up having them?
He succeeded. He had one.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, dude, he beat the odds. I mean, 0 sperm count.
That's great. Is it his?
Crystal Pump gives you the crystal spunk. It increases your sperm count by 6,000%.
Indeed. Oh yeah. When is the load product coming?
So
when do we get crystal loads? Crystal spunk. My bad.
I'm thinking crystal spunk, but in America, it's not really a common word for loads.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What other word for semen?
Crystal Splode. I think Crystal Splode would be a pretty good name.
Splode, splooge.
Crystal Splosion. And because the OG semen volumizer is ejacculoid.
I saw that on your story the one day. I fucking lost it. It was just on top of the Crystal Pump, casual.
Yeah, dude, I've got a few bottles. It's a great stocking stuffer. I strongly recommend that or Major Load. But the OG is ejacculoid. And it has on the bottle natural male explosions.
From Goliath Labs?
By Goliath Labs. Yes. It's also hilarious? I got an ad from Goliath Lab. You know the bucket of whey protein on Amazon?
I don't. But now I'm interested. No, I don't think just a bucket of whey. What we got?
It's got a blatant ripoff of a super mutant from Fallout on the label. By Colossal Labs.
Not showing up. Maybe they didn't pay enough for Jeff Bezos to put him at the top from Colossal.
Dude, they're one of the first results of whey protein, I think.
Oh, wait. Okay. I was just looking at the wrong thing. It showed the tub, not the bucket. But now I'm looking at the bucket. Yeah, what the hell? I don't understand how companies are allowed to do that.
Dude, that's the same company as Goliath Labs, I think. Because I got an ad from Goliath Labs, but it's of the protein. And I commented, is this the Goliath Labs that makes ejacculoid? No response.
I always thought that shit was a scam, or not a scam, but maybe I just had a bad experience. So
was it ejacculoid?
Well, no. So maybe that was the issue. But so I got this. It's 24K Rhino. They have a gold and a platinum. I got the platinum. And those are just normal boner pills, right? And then when I was checking out the counter, the guy was like, "Oh, you want some?" That's what it was. Max Load. It's like, "Do you want to get some Max Load with that?" And like, I got some money off it because I was buying them together or whatever. And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, why not?" And I don't think it made a difference.
You should get comical increases. Like it should.
Okay, like it should be
funny.
OG Mudbone levels of.
Yes,
Okay,
it should be hilarious.
Okay.
So like major load works and ejaculoid works. Ejaculoid takes longer to work but produces larger loads than major load.
Okay.
You should be able to stack them. I haven't tried it. You should be able to stack them because it's a totally different profile of ingredients.
Yeah. Do you know like what the active one is in there?
For ejaculoid, it's like a proprietary blend of a bunch of things that I've never heard of. So it's kind of hilarious. Like because it's not like a zinc load. Like it's not like your typical ingredients.
Oh yeah. No, zinc maxing. Done plenty of that. That works like a charm every time. 100%.
Yes. No, but it should be like ropes. Like it should be really funny.
Shooting ropes.
Yes, like it should be really funny. That's when you know it's working. Is when it's like a hilarious, just like you'll laugh.
Yeah, just like, look at that.
Like, whoa! Yeah.
God, that's fucking.
But yeah, the load product. I think that a novelty product has got to come out at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I guess maybe with the question I initially wanted to answer. So Crystal Pump, right? It was going pretty good on that first round, right?
Dude, you want to shift this to podcast mode? Are we just going to use snippets of this for the podcast? Or you want to shift us to being like?
Honestly, I think we can fucking use some of that because I think it's good. But I was just like, oh yeah, no. I mean, honestly, I'll probably keep the whole fucking thing. I mean, we can probably like.
Okay, great.
Yeah. No, like I definitely liked where that shit was going. But like with the Crystal Pump stuff, so like you're the first round went pretty well, right? Or I don't know, how many batches did you do before the one guy decided to fuck you?
So that was I've done. Because the first batch I had came in at the end of May 2022. Okay. And it was good, but the seal that was on top sucked ass. So it's kind of a shady company, honestly. Because originally I was going to work with NutriCap. Everyone who's ever tried to figure out how to do it has looked at NutriCap before.
Yep.
But not only are the prices not great, but the turnaround times are 16 weeks. So how you could forecast your business to be able to work with a 16-week turnaround is beyond me. It's impossible.
Yeah. So what, like, how many months is that? You said 16. That's
4 months.
4 months. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost 4 months. It's like at like 4 days short of 4 months or whatever. No, but I don't know what scale of business you have that you could work with that turnaround.
Yeah. No.
Because
are they the ones that fucked you?
No, NutriCap wasn't. So I got reached out to by this one company randomly because I've messaged a million companies and they just randomly responded to an email from the past and they're like, "Hey, are you still interested?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I don't know them, but I got the quotes from them. I talked to the guy on the phone, my rep for the company, and it was legit enough. And the prices made sense for it to be like, all right, so this isn't like so low that this is fake, but because it was maybe 5% cheaper than NutriCap, so it wasn't great prices, but they were able to do small orders. But the seal on the first load was so bad. My friends called it a no-nonsense seal. It's actually kind of funny because like you'd open up the cap and the force of like untwisting it ripped off the seal. Yeah. So a large portion of my batch turned into like rock hard product.
Oh,
so that was batch 1.
Yeah.
Batch 2. I can't remember if I did a batch that was just the rock candy flavor, or if that was the batch that I got all 3 flavors for the Pineapple OG, which had a holographic label, the Red Alert, and the rock candy. I can't remember if that was all in one order or not. I don't think it was. And that order was split in half because they never produced the second half of it. It was supposed to be sample packets.
Okay.
And they never made it, and so they just sent me the rest as bottles. With some missing, they claimed it was like damaged in shipping or something.
Yeah, bullshit.
So I was missing like 35 bottles.
Jesus.
So I was like, I was like, I don't really care in a way. Like I just need the product.
Yeah, just like to have something to see if this thing even keeps going, right?
Yeah, and it had been like 4 months.
Oh, okay.
So it was a long time in between. And I'm like, fuck it, dude. I spent that money so long ago. It is like, I mean, at the time, that would have been, like over $700.
Yeah. But like in your head it was kind of like, well, I forgot I already spent it, so did I really lose it?
Yeah, it's it's like I don't really care. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then it was after that. I think it was the order after that. I actually made the order back at the beginning of May.
Okay.
And actually, I think I might have even made it in April of this year. And it was supposed to be 3 weeks, which I always knew whenever they give me times like that, it's impossible. It's not going to be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because even getting a printer to make your labels, they're not going to have it done in 3 weeks.
Yeah, no. And you're not paying them enough to where they're going to give a shit whether they get your business.
3 weeks is crazy because they have to clean the machines out. Like, there's no way it's happening in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it gets to be like June, and I'm running out of product, but I'm just waiting. And so that was probably my 4th or 5th order. So I made a bunch of orders, and it was a very small order. It was only 150 units.
Okay. Yeah. So like doable.
So
pretty quick.
Yeah. So if I was doing a cut and run scam, it doesn't make sense to do it on such a small order. I mean, it was very small. It was like $3,200 or something.
Yeah.
But I paid on my Amex. And so as July comes around, he's like, "Yeah, it's shipping out tomorrow." I'm like, "Great.
Yeah,
what's the tracking?" I don't hear from him for a week, and then he's like, I'll talk to the warehouse and get your tracking number." I don't hear from him for another week. And he's like, "I'll get on top of that." And then I never hear from him again. And actually, I did it. He emailed me like a week ago, and he said that the owner died. It's one of those. I don't believe it at all.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll blur it out for the episode. But what's the place called? Let's see if this.
It was Massive Labels. So I couldn't find anything about them on Google. Because it used to be. So it's they were Massive Labels when I started with them, and then they turned into Fuck Normal Labs, which you can still find one of their products for Fuck Normal Pre-Workout. I think it was the same manufacturer. And
seems like they have a TikTok here.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. Well, is it fuck without the U?
Yes, FCK Normal Labs. I can't find it. They don't have a website anymore. They're just gone. So either I figured that somebody got arrested.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because and that does happen. Like when Blackstone and when Blackstone got fucked and all that. So it happens.
Because I do know that if I wanted DMAA in my products, they would have put it in there.
They probably got pops. So somebody fucking ratted.
Yeah, I assume that the reality is they probably got in trouble. The
fucking owner died. That better be true.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. He said that he could put me in touch with the guy who bought all the equipment. I didn't respond because if I was trying to scam somebody, I would claim that I could put you in contact with somebody who can help you.
Yeah, just give us your money again. Cool.
Yeah, like if I was to continue a scam, that is the thing that I would do is claim, "Oh yeah, we got," because he says it sucks because he got fired or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it is plausible. Like I called the number that I found on my I just couldn't contact anybody in any way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks, but I paid on Amex, so I just did a chargeback. What really sucked is I had great momentum.
Dude, yeah. Shit was
my momentum
good. Like
was crazy.
I don't know the actual numbers, but even just like Instagram growth and people talking about it, like even on my page, it was fucking people DM me about it. It was good.
Yeah.
Shit.
Review Bros gave it an amazing, glowing. I think they gave it a 9 out of 10, which I watch their page pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And I would have been happy with a 7.
Yeah. Of course.
Because they give a very honest review. I thought compared to their rankings that if I got a 7, that was solid, and if I got an 8, that'd be great. And I think they gave it a 9. And I didn't pay them or anything, so they and I've seen them give 7s. I've seen them give 5s and 6s. So I was very happy with that review. It got me a ton of traffic, and I sold out pretty much immediately after the Review Bros review.
Damn. See, and that's crazy because those guys like UK guys, but obviously like they've got enough in the US. Or I guess how do you have people like ordering overseas?
I have a lot of people who ask for it. There's a few reasons that I don't do it. Is that I've been somebody hit me with what I think was a chargeback scam.
I've gotten hit by a couple of fucking those. Pissed me off to no end.
Yeah, and if it's international, it screws me way. It would screw me way worse than a domestic chargeback scam. Just because the shipping. I mean, the shipping alone is
Dude, yeah, to some fucking
$40. Yeah, for me to ship to the UK in a reasonable amount of time is $35 to $50.
Yeah.
And for me to
and you should have to fucking eat that. It sucks.
Yeah, of just shipping, it would be terrible.
Yeah.
Plus, I lose. There's some sort of a fee I think that I get charged for chargebacks. I think, but if anything else, I would lose the 3%.
It's something like that because you do
$15.
Yeah, like do you use Shopify as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. There is some fucking fee for it.
Shopify is also by far, like, it's so much better than Squarespace.
Yeah, like I think I tried to use Squarespace one time for like a previous, like a completely unrelated project years ago, and I just couldn't figure it out. Shopify, easiest shit I've ever used. Don't
you have to be an idiot.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
to have a nice. Yeah, to have like every time I try to make my store nicer, it is really hard.
Yeah,
but it still looks good, and it looks like a real website for a real product. Yep. But when I used Squarespace, it looks like when you go to like your cousin's website or something, like it doesn't look professional at all. Like, like it looks like you're on like a vacation rentals page or something. Like it does not look like you're on a website for a pre-workout used by people aged 18 to 35. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just too tech savvy for my own good, so to speak. I'm an idiot with tech, but like when I just go to websites, like it did not look like somewhere that I would want to spend money on pre-workout. But yeah, I mean, momentum was amazing. I mean, it was dollars wise. I mean, I can't I actually looked at it pretty recently. It really wasn't that spectacular, but it was a big spike.
Yeah.
And I feel very fortunate. So. Yeah. Thank God that the pre-sale has shown that the momentum has seemingly stayed, because I've done 64 units so far in the pre-sale.
Okay, nice.
Which I think for a pre-sale is insane, because when it comes to buying pre-workout, the reality is that you want to buy it and try it.
Yeah.
You don't want to buy it and wait. You don't buy pre-workout to take it next month. You buy it to take it tomorrow. And it's an inconvenience to have to wait 2 to 3 days for the mail, let alone
2
3
weeks,
to 4
3
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an. I had and whenever I do a merch pre-sale, they go like complete shit. So I was surprised because the first week I did 50 units. And then I knew it'd slow down after that. But yeah, 60. I think it was. Did I say 63? It was whatever, one more than yesterday was.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I did. I got an email from my affiliate account today. Somebody used that Monday link. So whoever that was, thanks.
Thank you to whoever used the Monday link. It's much appreciated. I want my my select few affiliates making money, because it's much better. It always kills me when somebody's like, "Oh, I hate this affiliate shit." Yeah, you also hate seeing ads, and this is better for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, and like my shit, like obviously my whole since like day one, the plan was always to like have merch, work with companies, but like it is nice to be able to make ads that people actually like to watch. Like just like I think the Limp Bizkit really kept the watch time retention up. Because like in terms of like ads that I made, or like like sponsored posts, that one was one of my better performing ones. The one that we did just like last week.
Sick.
Yeah. No, I was pretty impressed. Like, because normally like ones like that are like clearly like they're just promo, they do okay, but I got like 97 shares, 530 likes, 40 bookmarks, 4K accounts reached, not bad, but yeah, no, I was pretty happy with that one.
Yeah,
and people want the shit. So
yeah. Well, I think one of the good things too about Crystal Pump is like not only is it a catchy name, with a catchy logo, but the product is you look at the label and it actually makes sense.
Yeah,
like it's not like the vast majority of products that I look at, the labels are very simple. And I think that even if you don't know what these ingredients are,
Yeah.
you'd be curious enough to Google what is Araya gerensis. Oh, it's basically herbal DMAA. Cool. What is because I switched the anisopropyl norepinephrine for synephrine for potentially legal reasons.
Yeah. So was that because I know you said there were some changes in the formula? Was that the only one, or
I also
maybe
reduced
just the way it felt or something like that?
So I also reduced the I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of Rausolene, Raulsine. Nobody knows how to say it. I don't know why the fuck they named it Raulsine. I'm just going to call it Roscaline, like people used to call it Roscaline. It's not how it's spelled at all.
Oh, it's like the Yohimbine.
Raulsine. But it's the Yohimbe. I reduced that from 2.5 milligrams to 1.5 milligrams because the quality is higher from the new manufacturer, and that's an ingredient that if somebody is sensitive to it, they're going to hate the product.
Fair enough.
Kind of like beta alanine.
Yeah.
Whereas with beta alanine, if somebody hates the tingles, they're not going to take it. If somebody hates the increase of body temperature that you get from Yohimbe, so one of the things that I like about the Yohimbe is that you get a really unique boost of energy.
Yeah.
Because it's not a traditional stimulant. It's a very unique feeling that I like. Yeah. But for some people, one, they hate the feeling, and two, it is a hunger suppressant.
Yeah.
It can hurt your stomach. And it is an ingredient that I would consider removing just because those of us who like it, I don't know if we outnumber, because I would say it's maybe 5% of people it bothers them. It's kind of a high percentage.
Yeah.
I guess like with beta alanine, it probably bothers like 20% of people, but I'm not taking that out.
Yeah.
And it's in everyone else's product anyway, so like it's not like it's a non-standard ingredient. Yohimbe is kind of a non-standard ingredient. Yeah. There's a few ingredients that I would consider removing because from a cost benefit perspective, they're very expensive. But I don't know that buyers, I guess the word I use would be respect. I don't know if it sounds so pretentious to say appreciate. Because I don't necessarily do this to be appreciated. I do this because I want to fit the needs that they are seeking.
Yeah.
There's a few ingredients that I just don't know if it's necessary for most customers. What's funny is actually the only reason that I have the black pepper extract is because people are more familiar with that than they are with estrogen. I think estrogen is significant. They do the same thing. Estrogen, I think, is significantly better.
Okay.
But I don't think that people know as often what estrogen is.
Yeah, no, I think it's in some one of those fucking energy.
It's in a lot of products.
Might be in the Go.
It's an energy
or maybe it's the C4 ones. I can't remember exactly.
But that's surprising because estrogen's very expensive, but I'm not taking it out because it's worth it because it works. But the black pepper extract is pretty cheap, and people know what it is, so it's pretty worthwhile for me to put that in there.
Yeah.
There's a few ingredients. Like I think L-tyrosine is by far the weakest nootropic in Crystal Pump, but it's pretty cheap, and people know what it is.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind that being, it's doing something. It's just way weaker than the alpha GPC, the DMAE bitter which is not related to DMAA whatsoever.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's not related. The Araya is very similar to DMAA.
Okay, gotcha.
But DMAE is totally different. It's a nootropic. It has no energetic properties.
What's the DMAE for again?
Focus.
Okay.
Up until the 1960s, it was actually prescribed for ADHD.
You know what? That's good shit. And I forget how Crystal Pump feels. It's been so long. It makes me sad. But I do remember it felt like I would just use it for just sitting down and working too. Like it worked great.
It was very unique.
Yeah.
And I love the way that it felt with the higher quality Araya. Like so when I had my sample, it didn't have every ingredient. So it didn't have the Elevate TP, it didn't have the estrogen, it didn't have I think those were the only two that were missing. Judging but the color was so vibrant that I'm not positive that it had lion's mane extract.
Okay, yeah, lion's mane extract. That's like brown, right?
Yeah, it's hideous. But it's as an individual ingredient, it's top 3 for Crystal Pump for me.
Except for the people bitching about it at home, which I get it because of what's fucking Ryan Russo's video, but that
what
man, that I don't know if I sent you any of this, but like it was probably like 2 or 3 months ago. Somebody commented under one of our collab posts and was like, "This has lion's mane in it. Like, it's like, be wary, guys. This has lion's mane in it. Not worth the risk. Check out Ryan Russo's video." And so I looked at it, and I think I did a video on it. But basically, he was experimenting with Gorilla Shroom, the new formula, which has a fuck ton more of lion's mane mushroom in it. And basically, like, Ryan Russo, I don't know if he's even like quite recovered yet, but like, sex drive, awful, mood, terrible. Basically, he had kind of like an overdose on lion's mane mushroom. And there are instances, if you look on like Reddit and shit, there are people that have reported it, but it seems like a very small number.
Isn't that with crazy doses too?
It is. Yeah, he was taking like the full fucking dose of the shroom, like version 2, and that shit happened because he had taken Gorilla Shroom before with a normal amount of lion's mane, and he was fine. And so my point, I think in my video, was like, yeah, like there might be some risk, but look how much fucking lion's mane this guy took.
Yeah, it's like you have to take an unreasonable amount.
Yeah,
because I found zero evidence of people having trouble with 1 gram of lion's mane.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna look up what it was. It was a Gorilla Shroom B2 as. Oh, stop, bitch! What are you talking about?
Well, people just love to have a cause to rally against, because like people will comment to be like, anisopropyl norepinephrine is very dangerous. It's even more dangerous than synephrine. Don't take it.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. And so yes, this is it's a, if my math is correct, 3,200 milligrams is 3.2 grams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much fucking lion's mane is in the 9 capsule serving of the new Gorilla Shroom. So no shit.
Yeah, I take 1,000 milligrams is what's in Crystal Pump, and 1,000 milligrams is a shown mood enhancer.
Yeah.
It's a focus enhancer, and it's a very unique feeling. I don't know if you've ever taken straight lion's mane. It tastes horrible. Horrible. It doesn't mix with water at all either.
I've had like lion's mane like tea or whatever, and it's very tastes like shit.
It tastes like you mixed manure into your water, but it's a very unique feeling. Yeah. I'd say individually, I think it feels better than Alpha GPC does.
Alpha GPC is very good though. I bought that shit raw before, and it's good. Love that.
Yeah, and Alpha GPC is also shown. It's the only one that's shown to have like a specific. I think it was at 750 milligrams, which is what I have in Crystal Pump. And I have to double check this, and maybe I'm talking out of my ass, so that the listeners can think that I'm full of shit. But I believe that I saw that it had an increase in force output at 750 milligrams. Which all those things, they're probably testing somebody's like fucking thumb muscle.
Yeah.
They're never doing anything cool. They're not testing it on athletes.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and that's like weird. A lot of these studies are just either burn victims, normies, or rats.
Diabetics, stroke patients. It's not. You're not getting good applicable, for the most part, good applicable research.
Yeah.
When I was in college, because my degree's in applied physiology and kinesiology with a specialty in exercise science.
Oh wow.
Almost all this research is pretty close to worthless. It's not particularly useful. EMG studies are not particularly useful, and that's what most studies people are working off of are. That's like a surface EMG is tracking nerve activity through your skin. That's the best way to describe it.
Gotcha.
And so that's how they're testing muscle contraction externally is basically what they're doing. And that's where you'll see a lot of advice to be like greater activation of this muscle. Almost always it's referencing an EMG. There are internal trackers for nerve activity, but they're a lot harder to use. Yeah. And typically those studies are studying between your index and middle finger, because it's the easiest to isolate motor unit in your body.
And that's what they're doing to determine whether an ingredient or something activates nerve activity.
I took us way off track.
Well, no, I mean, no, I'm trying to figure out like what type of conclusions, like if they're making like crazy claims based off of fingers twitching.
I don't know specifically on the finger ones. I can't think of any for specifically the finger, but like it'll be like even just for like when they were testing the quad activation on front squats versus back squats. A back squat had greater quad activation than a front squat, but anybody who's ever done front squats feels it more in their quads. And so for the study, it's like, well, actually, you're not working your quads when you do front squats. Like, great. Well, I'm going to work my quads by doing front squats because it's EMG based. And I don't know if what the force controls were, but one of the biggest determining factors for EMG activity is absolute load. And so if this is percentage of 1 RM, you can back squat more than you can front squat. And if it's more absolute load, you're going to have a greater EMG. And so it's irrelevant. It's the same thing with the, when they talk about the half squatting has greater quad activation than full squatting.
Okay.
It's greater absolute load. Of course it's going to have greater EMG activity.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily based on muscle growth. They're basing it off of EMG, which is not very useful.
Yeah. No, I hate that we can't just use common sense for some shit or just like observe what happened here. That's my fucking conclusion.
And when you think about the scientific process, weight training is one of the hardest things for you to actually control the parameters of.
Yeah.
Because there's coordination you have to worry about, differences in limb length, all sorts of factors that in reality really matter. But in the context of a study, you can clutter things up. A Smith machine is about as controlled of I would call that a free weight exercise for respective like training studies, because you can control that a lot better by calculating angles. There's a lot more calculations you could do to normalize things.
Yeah,
with free weights,
the bar's not
you
moving
really
around
can't.
that shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really normalize any of that shit with free weights. There's way too much going on. And so all you can really do in reality is talk to your bros at the gym and get science from them. And that's what's always been known as bro science, the most useful science.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, it like literally is. Because also you have to take into account that everybody's fucking different. And if you got 2 hours of sleep the one day, that test is gonna be shit. Whether you got 6 hours or like just like 6 or 8. Science is all bullshit for the most part.
It is. Well, I used to train a researcher at UF. He's actually pretty prominent in the intermittent fasting world.
Okay.
And I was talking to him because he's a co-author on a book about testosterone boosting diets.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him. I was like, well, when it comes to boosting your testosterone a certain percentage, are you guys normalizing like the exact same time of day for the readings? Because your testosterone varies wildly through the day.
Yeah.
And like it varies wildly based on if you deadlifted yesterday versus today versus 3 days. All these things. When's the last time you drank alcohol? Your testosterone levels vary wildly. And for a natural testosterone range, for you to have a 40% increase, you might be able to see that just between morning and night. Like in the same day.
Yeah.
How can you feel certain from these studies that you're actually seeing this if you're not normalizing that stuff? He's like, honestly, probably should do that. And I was like, all right,
whatever sells my fucking program and my coaching.
Oh my god, I don't give a fuck about this research anymore. Because like for natural testosterone, I mean, if we're talking about something like if you do steroid TRT, you're gonna see 700% increase in testosterone. It's the range that you're gonna get taken to is so far beyond any of these natural ranges. Like sure, they're trying to get you into the natural range, so to speak. But you're also going to be there 24/7. You're not dipping down or going. You're not having the same dips during the day.
Yeah.
But this is totally off track for Crystal Pump at this point. That's my
no, but I mean, like it's, it's fucking real though. Like it's terrible. Like you can find any study to support anything.
You really can, and then it turns into, well, how good was that study? And then that turns into a lot of semantics.
See, is alcohol good for you? Study like you can do that.
Yeah.
Is it bad for you? Like you can just whoever the fuck funds it, that's the answer you get.
Well, it's also like I tell people, like when it comes to research, there's no such thing as like 100%. Nothing is 100% in favor of this. You're always gonna have studies that show something else, and then it turns into critiquing that study. Was that a good study? How about let's go to that. Let's base another study to see if that was true. How replicable were their results? You're never gonna find a 100% consensus. So even if you find like a 70% consensus, that's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And I don't even know where I was going with that, man. We were talking about there's a study for everything. There really is a study for everything.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like how good was that study? Was it a control-based study? Are we talking about a randomly selected population? Is this an epidemiological study? Like what are we talking about here? Because some things are only useful to academics, and the layperson really should not concern themselves with it.
Yeah.
And almost always, when you read an article in the fucking Washington Post, it's something that isn't actually meant for lay people to use. You know, it's something that could be useful for you to base, uh, a random selection control trial for.
Yeah.
Like you do a study so that somebody else can do a study to test your hypothesis. It's all meant to work in a line going up to the best study ever made that can conclusively prove something.
Yeah.
The mythical perfect study is what it's all supposed to be working in line for. But people are taking the like dog shit epidemiological study that's just like the fringes of useful to an academic, so that they can get the funding to do a better study.
That's true. A lot of that shit does have to do with funding. It's like, well, see, there's something here. We need to study it further.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, this is plausible. Well, how about this? And it all just takes the fun out of training, because it turns you into a training nihilist. I would say that a lot of us, especially guys who are kind of in my age range, can turn into the fitness nihilist.
Okay.
It's all pointless. None of it matters. All you have to do is something. And there is some truth to that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
however, fuck that. Because it's boring. You burn out. You don't want to work out at all. It's like, well, I'm only going to get so much stronger because of my genetic limitations anyway. I'm only going to get so much bigger and add this much body fat anyway. It's pointless for me to bulk. I should just gain. Or it's pointless for me to gain. I should only bulk and cut.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to do it the most boring way possible.
Okay, just
fuck
go and try,
man. You don't have to. Like go to the Orthodox church service, so to speak. Take your pre-workout. Turn up the fucking Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. Go into the gym and hit some supersets. I don't give a fuck if they don't matter. Go hit those supersets. Go to failure. Go between barbells to dumbbells to machines with including isolation movements. Fuck the nihilism, dude. Take your life back. You're not a slave to the black hole of fitness. Crystal Pump is meant. It's meant to bring you back from the darkness. For some of us, we remember drinking some Jack 3D as kids who didn't grow up with leet speak would call it. We used to pronounce numbers as letters, you see.
Yeah,
so back when we were taking Jacked, we would watch Pumping Iron pre-workout. We would listen to Ziz in the car pre-workout, cranking up the fucking tunes on the drive to the gym and go and do the most retarded workout you've ever seen. And we loved it. That was life, and that is the experience that I want you to have on Crystal Pump. I want you using the R word. maybe
oh
not.
yeah,
maybe not. But I want you.
Hey, you know what?
To have
Shane Gellett's bringing it back. It's all there,
dude. Yeah, I want you to have the workouts that transport you back to 2010. I want you to feel like you're taking illicit substances without having to take illicit substances. I want you to feel a sense of fear, almost of excitement when you scoop it in. You see the crystal dust come out of the cup, and you go, "Is this safe,
dude?
Is this safe?" I want you to think.
You are making me miss the fucking pump so much.
I want you to look at.
I have not opened that can in so long and just breathed it in and started choking. I need that.
Yes, I want you and the boys to be sharing the crystal stall at the gym, bumping up together, giggling as you look at your pupils in the mirror, and you're like, "Dude, I'm feeling this." I want one of you guys to rip the sleeves off of your shirt because you're in a crystal psychosis, and you've got to get it in. It's freaking chest today. It's chest today. It's chest today, man.
Sounds fucking.
You got to feel that feeling, dude. Like, you can't just have ambient workouts. You got to get off the hamster wheel, dude. You got to get out of the nihilistic shitstorm that you live in and get into the eye of the crystal storm with the pump, I guess. I don't know
The
where
eye
that's
of the
going.
crystal storm. I like. Oh wait, no. What? No. What was that? What was it? The nuclear nectar. That's ours now. Fuck you, Stacker 2 Barstool. That's ours now.
Suck my dick, Dave Portnoy. The nuclear nectar of Crystal Pump entering your veins, and you go into the crystal psychosis, dude. Like, I just want people to remember. Shake them out of it, dude. We don't have to live in a world where we've got 2015 and O Explode, the worst form of an O Explode. I don't want you feeling like this is
Are they still
2007 and all you have is Gaspari Super Pump. I want you to feel like.
Are they still even around? Fucking BSM?
Who, Gaspari? BSM's definitely still around.
Are they?
And O Explode is completely different than it used to be, too. I don't know if it's the same proprietary blend. I'll be honest, back in 2008, we liked an O Explode.
Yeah.
I didn't try Jacked until 2009. I don't know when I think it came out in 2007, but I didn't try it until 2009. And that's really, Jacked gave an explosion of psychotic products. And that was exciting. You and your friends get together and you say, I got this. What do you got?
And now it's all the same. Everyone's got the gorilla mode. The
gorilla mode. I take Rise, Godzilla. It's hardcore. All the kids at the gym. So the hottest supplement amongst the college kids and the teens in my gym is Rise, Godzilla. And they told me it was hardcore. Well, you know what? I went to your hood, Godzilla, and nobody knew you. I bought it. It sucks. It's
oh shit.
got sour beta-alanine.
It's in the shit.
Ingredients wise, it has a good amount of L-citrulline.
Yeah.
But I don't feel a pump. I just feel some caffeine. I feel beta-alanine, which is my favorite ingredient, so that's fine. But it's like $58.
Yeah, no, and that's fucking crazy.
Crystal Pump is $45. And if you use code FIRST10 in your first order, it's 10% off of that. So come on. You're really going to go and buy Godzilla? Are you serious? And then you're going to tell me to my face that it's good?
Yeah, there's no.
You're going to tell me to my face that you're taking Total War? Just tell me. I'm poor. I would accept that.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't say it's good.
If you can only afford $30, honestly, Total War's okay.
Yeah.
Like, if you've only got $30.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to besmirch people who don't have the money to spend
on like better products. Yeah. Well, and even last year when all these companies are making fucking $70 formulas, I'm like Redcon One, Old School Labs are like, this is our stacked pre-workout. I'm like, who the fuck is spending $70? Or I think it was Echo Vision maybe that had that, and I've heard that that's very good. Echo Vision.
Well, dude, if you're gonna spend $70 on pre-workout, there really are some like one of the things that I learned making Crystal Pump.
Yeah.
There really are some amazing pre-workouts if you go off the beaten path.
Okay.
Like, just to shout out a competitor, I guess.
Of course.
If you're deep into supplements, this is not a surprise, but Apollo Nutrition is the best company in the market. They have the best formulations. They have everything that I've ever wanted to make. They already have it made. Are they price competitive with Crystal Pump? Absolutely not. And what you'll also find is that Assassin, which is hard drugs don't feel as extreme as Assassin. Assassin has 600 milligrams of caffeine.
That's fucking insane for a serving. A serving.
But if you guys have the expendable income, if you are a true stem junkie, I think that Apollo Nutrition makes if you've got the money to blow, and if you are a true stem junkie, I'm probably never going to make products that truly compete with Assassin, because I don't know that I'll ever be a big enough company to make a stem junkie product. The best stem junkie product is, in my opinion, all come from Apollo Nutrition, because they've got Assassin, they've got Hooligan. When it comes to the stem free, they've got Bloodsport. But all those are like $60 or more for 20 servings. So they're substantially more expensive than Crystal Pump. You've got Crack Gold. If you're a stem junkie, that's a great supplement. Don't tell me though that you're buying like fucking Bucked Up.
Yeah,
don't tell
up.
me that. Don't tell me my face. If you tell me that you think Bucked Up has some funny marketing and that their website has actually got some pretty solid humor in it, That's fine. I went to their website. I've checked out all my competitors.
Yeah.
Fucked up was actually pretty funny. You're taking lit AF, shit AF is what I would call that.
Shit AF. I agree there.
You got the shit AF. Woke AF, more like I'd say broke AF, but it's actually not that cheap. I think it's actually more expensive than Crystal Pump. You know, these products though, it's like if you can buy it at the store, it's probably not that great.
Yeah, and that's a weird debate because like initially, I'm looking at all these companies going to Walmart, and my initial thought is like, oh damn, things are going downhill. Even though it's still a major retailer, but like again, you don't see Apollon Nutrition in Walmart, you know, or even like GNC for that matter, right?
No, like you'll see them some at some like local stores.
Yeah,
I've never seen them. I don't know that like from a liability standpoint, honestly, if they would want to carry those types of products at GNC or Vitamin Shop, even when it comes to like
too big a
family friendly branding. Yeah, when it comes to family friendly branding, you know what's funny is that Aaron Singerman was told by Vitamin Shop that Redcon was not a Vitamin Shop friendly brand. They didn't want to carry it.
Oh, must have been too American for him. Dude, who the fuck's Vitamin Shop owned by? Let's find that out.
You don't want to do that, dude. You don't want to go down.
Oh, oh wait.
Get canceled real quick.
Who owns the Vitamin Shop? Let's find out.
If they're
acquired by Brian Kahn, all right. Let's search him. What does he do? Let's go to Wikipedia.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you know, it's so funny though because, like, honestly, clearly, Singerman grew that company to a point that they couldn't ignore it. Yeah. But like, I think it was the military theme was like, oh, whoa, like.
No, yeah, it's like, oh, this is too patriotic. We can't do this. So, no, go fuck yourself.
I think it's
USA.
It was funny when I heard him tell that story in a podcast. I was like, really? I never thought it was like I didn't think it was out of line with like Gaspari or any of those brands. I didn't think that Redcon was like extreme at all.
I didn't think so either, no. Like, people are just fucking pussies. Brian
Vitamin
Shop.
Like people always ask me, "Oh, you're getting Vitamin Shop?" I'd probably have to sell it to them for like $20. I wouldn't be able to. I don't even know if after shipping if I would make money selling it at $20.
Good point.
I'd have to buy like 20,000 units at a time. You know, like it's I've got better pricing because I had to buy 1,000 units this time, but it's 1,000 units. And do some multiplication. I had to drop some money on this.
Shit, dude.
So it's a way bigger investment. You know, it is potentially a better reward, but the reality is it just gives me more opportunity to pay affiliates more money to make it more worthwhile for affiliates to get involved. Because like if somebody's able to make an extra $1,000 a month, they're going to be a lot more likely to do something as simple as post about it.
You know? Definitely. Yeah, I mean, and so you know you look at I think there was some meme about like schizophrenics, like they can see the good in people, right? And that's why I started getting hooked up with you, because I saw Schizo Lifter followed you. I'm like, all right, this guy is cool. And then we just started memeing together, and that was it.
We'll see if I party with Schizo Lifter next weekend. I don't know if I want to out him for where he's going to be, but he's going to be near me. That's what I'll say there. I don't know if he wants his location getting dropped.
They're gonna find him.
Oh, dude, I'm sure. It's he'll probably have a shit on him though, because I met him at OSG, official Strongman games.
Yeah, that was that
last year.
Last
year. Yeah, that's where I met him. And that's where I hooked up with Tommy Lavelle as well.
Tommy Lavelle,
big supporter of Chris Plum.
That sounds familiar.
You've probably talked to him. He's with Odd Objects. It's his company. How
do you spell Lavelle?
LOV.
Oh wait, yeah. Wait, yeah. I think I've talked to. Yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah. Great dude. I think he's a multi-time world champion in the 175-pound weight class.
Yeah.
Crazy talented dude. Strongman's kind of funny because like it's I don't know for max lifts if he's gonna win any of them. In a deadlift medley he could win. He's very fast. He's it's just Strongman as a sport is I think it's pretty different than most people would think it is. It's his consistency and the ability to win. Like he'll win the sandbag toss, farmer's walk. But he's an amazing athlete, and him and I gelled. So he's the only athlete right now that I have as a Crystal Pump athlete.
Okay. Yeah. Was he at that? I think you were at a meet, or you were a sponsor at a meet, like last week or 2 weeks ago. Was he at that one, or was that just?
No, he wasn't at that one.
Okay.
That was a local powerlifting meet.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked to have things back up and running. Stoked to get Tommy some product, get you some product. I actually have another athlete who is reasonably notorious.
Reasonably
I'm gonna send him product. All right. Yes, I think that some Monday lifters would recognize. I think that everybody's seen him pop up in their feed before.
Okay.
But he's not so well known. Him and I have a tentative agreement. But I want to get him product first so he can actually make sure he likes it, because I don't want him to if he doesn't like it,
there's no point in him fucking promoting it. Yeah.
Yeah, not everything is for everyone. I mean, he used to be with another brand though, whose products are dog shit, I think.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any way that he would be in support of this.
Brand? Curious.
Gaspari.
Oh, okay. Damn. Okay. But he was like an actual Gaspari athlete, or did he just
get a Gaspari code? Yeah, okay. I have no idea what it takes to get a code for Gaspari. It's probably not very hard. Because I know that with Gorilla, all you have to do is like sign up on their website.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it's probably like the same process like Redcon 1. Redcon 1's pretty chill.
Yeah, you just gotta, I don't even think that, I think if we've learned anything from Goob's videos is they do zero research on who these people are.
Yeah, clearly. It's like, oh, you like to fuck kids? We didn't know. God,
I don't know. He was a straight up child molester.
We had no idea.
What's funny, they just never even address it.
They don't. They just, okay, yep, code's gone. Well, and us, but who even knows if they even deactivate the code? Those codes probably still work.
I don't want to put on my website, like, become a Crystal Pump affiliate and then, like, a school shooter be one of my affiliates. When it comes to my target audience, I think that is a greater than zero chance.
Yeah. Yeah, they might get a couple mixed up in there.
Dude, if they follow Gang Crystal Pump on IG, they're pretty dark and minted.
Yeah, so if there's any NSA, FBI people up there, you just go to that following list and we'll tag on it. There's your short list for potential suspects.
Once I put the MK Ultra Sam Hyde activation video up, I knew.
Oh yeah, dude, that was fucking funny. And I don't know what happened. I think it was a site-wide thing. I posted that to like my personal Instagram story. And straight up, it was up for 24 hours. I think it had 1 view. I don't know how it's possible because I don't have a lot of people on my personal or whatever, but it's like 500 followers. There's usually like 80 views, something like that. But yeah, it was one person.
My story views are so much lower. 2 things I think correlate with it. But I think the main one is that I made my account, my personal account, a professional account, so I could advertise when I was doing personal training.
Yeah.
And it tanked, I think, my story. I think once you turn to professional, it just tanks your views.
That's what I think. No, like even Monday Iron, I keep that as a creator account.
Yeah, I don't know what it tanks my views.
Yeah, I don't know what professional's gonna fucking do.
Yeah, that's why Crystal Pump is still a personal account as far as how it's labeled on Instagram. But I only get like 110 story views. I used to get hundreds of story views.
Yeah.
Every time I post them. I also don't know if it's because I'm married now, and I don't know if maybe there's a thirst trap element to all this. I don't know.
Or
if perhaps
Zuckerberg hates the family unit.
He could.
He's like, oh, married, happiness. No more clout. Done.
I have super low confidence in that area, so I doubt that that's what happened. But it does correlate.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I have a hard time believing that women were interested in me.
What do you mean? You got the fucking mustache, the pump, the glasses.
Let me just do a Google search: incel black pill ideology.
Take one look at the search history. It's done. Done. Well, the thing with the thing that I've noticed with my Instagram stories, because I was like, the account has 21,000 followers, and there are some days where it's like, actually, I think today was one of like the lower viewing days. I think. So like
Yeah,
right
what's
now
mine?
it has like 788 on the thing that I posted last night of the A Goon license plate. But yesterday, the stories from yesterday had like 2,000 or 3,000 views. What I've noticed is that if I'm on a posting break, the story seems to get pushed to people's like stories more, and I'll have like thousands of story views. Or if I like, it's not a sharing a post. If like my first story of the day is like a picture from my gallery and maybe text or something, then for some reason those views start going bananas. But once you hit like a story, yeah. But once you share like a post on the story, and maybe I'm just noticing patterns that aren't there, but that's just what I've seen. The story views just tank after you put anything like from the app onto your story. It's weird.
You know what's funny is I bet you that's actually the case. Is it probably is based on people would rather see your original content than something shared.
That makes sense.
And that could be what it's based on. But also Instagram doesn't really care about what you want.
Yeah.
I would think they would want to promote their own app.
See, that's what I don't get these people because they don't give a fuck about me.
No, they don't care about the customer at all. Every change they've ever made to the app has made it worse.
Yeah, sure has. And also, I don't know why I can't make a broadcast channel. Everyone else gets to make one, but I can't make.
Oh,
one.
interesting.
It's stupid. Very silly.
Dude, Crystal Pump TV. Then I don't know. Maybe I got to get on that.
Do you have a fucking broadcast channel?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
I should go live more often though. Like it's but going live is a talent. Like if you actually want to be entertaining live, I've never seen somebody entertaining on Instagram live.
Dude,
except for like ghetto ass people. Like if you get on a ghetto Instagram live or especially a ghetto Facebook live, dude, there's like thousands of viewers in there.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because it's always entertaining. They're just doing crazy shit.
Something can fucking happen at any moment. Somebody gets shot. Like something will happen at any moment if you're on like
that's not an exaggeration.
a ghetto as fuck Instagram live or Facebook, especially Facebook live. I don't know what it is about the Facebook live.
I haven't done Facebook live ever. I don't think I've ever looked at one, but
I went live. The origins of my follower count is because I was on Instagram Live at World's Strongest Man 2019, and I was the live broadcast for World's Strongest Man.
Oh shit! Okay.
So I gained. I had like 800 followers before, and I gained 1,000 followers from it. Ish. I don't know. I gained a ton, but like my last video, I had like 80,000 watchers or something.
Damn.
And
well, no,
maybe it was only 8,000. Whatever. I remember the first day I got 60 viewers. I was like, damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because like for a live, like how many people were going to tune into that? And it was Brian, and then I had like 150. I'm like, damn, that's cool. But then like some page, it was like powerlifting motivation or something, tagged me. It was like video from Strongman Steve, and I got a ton of viewers. And like when I was out there at the event, I'm like snaking through the crowd, like getting on people's shoulders and shit. And I just talked to these people, and they're like, "Yeah, we came from California, but honestly, we haven't been able to watch. We've just been watching Strongman Steve stream."
Huh?
And I was like, "I am Strongman Steve."
That's me. What are you talking about?
And they're like, "Oh my god!" And so I had like all sorts of like I had like major people in my live.
Yeah.
I could see like pro competitors. Everybody was there. So that's the origins of my internet notoriety. Is from live streaming World's Strongest Man. In fact, a picture of my phone, because I had to replace my phone because it overheated so badly.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
A picture of my phone was the Reddit Strongman thumbnail image.
Nice.
In honor of what I had done.
Yeah. Were you just there as like a person in the crowd and you were live streaming it, or were you like helping run it? Oh.
No.
Nice.
I was a spectator. And I don't know if you know about World's Strongest Man, but it's by far the worst. It's not a sporting event; it's a TV show.
Yeah.
And so it's awful for the crowd. Awful. And there's zero live coverage. But I got into like the VIP, like I got because I like schmoozed up the rain. It was the only vendor was rain.
Yeah.
And so like we were all like tweaking because there was no water, there was only rain.
Jesus,
It was like 100 degrees and no breeze, not a cloud in the sky, no breeze at all, and we're only drinking Reigns. And there's kids that are tweaking out on Reigns too because people are like, "Go talk to the guy in the booth, see if you get any free stuff." And like 10-year-olds are chugging Reigns. And it was the only vendor. There was no food, there was no water, it was only rain.
And was it in Florida, or did you go to like Vegas or something?
Yeah, it was in Bradenton, Florida.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is where I'm originally from, and so for me, it was homecoming of sorts. Nice. But also, I think a lot of people there weren't familiar with the Bradenton Scumbag, which was out in abundance.
The Bradenton Scumbag. All right.
It is a local you got to beware of. It's a ton of people from Ohio moved to Bradenton, so it's the I-75 connection.
Oh yeah.
So we got a bunch of scumbags there. It had the worst pill abuse per capita in the entire country.
The worst what?
Pill abuse per capita.
Oh,
in the
pill
entire,
abuse.
Like per population.
That's Ohio. And Florida.
I mean,
you put those together, it's over.
Dude, just getting double teamed by pill users, Florida and Ohio. But yeah, dude, it was that was an event. But I feel like we got way off track. We're talking World's Strongest Man now. This is not an interview with Strongman Steve. This is an interview with Strongman Steve of Crystal Pump.
Indeed.
At crystalpump.com, at Crystal Pump on Instagram, at gang Crystal Pump _on _ IG for shit posts.
I'm gonna put the fucking Sam. I'm gonna find that Sam Hyde video and stick it in here somewhere.
Code word Ronald McDonald activation sir.
That thing fucking killed. I watched it so many times after I saw it. I'm like, I cannot get enough of this. It's so fucking.
I'm gonna post it again when the product launches.
Dude, yes, I like that. And I have another 300 scene that we can use for the actual launch as well. So. Dude,
I can't wait. It's I do wonder when it comes to like using the Breaking Bad memes, because obviously there's zero influence from AMC's Breaking Bad. There's zero. Zero. It is
it's a periodic table.
It is a periodic table of elements. It is simply Arial text. There's no and green is a primary color.
Green's a cool
color. Is no.
Is it?
Influence.
No,
is it what?
Aren't the primary colors like red?
I don't even know anymore, dude. It was like red, blue, and yellow. It was red, blue, yellow, and then it was red, blue, and green. I don't even know anymore, to be completely honest with you. It's a common color, It
is. It's a very common color. People like green.
People's eyes are green. It is a coincidence. But anyway, posting like Breaking Bad memes. Breaking Bad is probably the single most memeable show.
Yeah, definitely. It's good. It's all the fucking Breaking Bad memes have lasted for probably how many years now, and they're probably just going to continue.
Yeah, the show ended in like 2013.
That's fucked. That's great.
But
it's still going.
I love Breaking Bad memes, and I've only posted 2 on Gang Crystal Pump and IG, and I do wonder if there's any potential long-term legal ramifications. Like, do you remember when you posted these clips from AMC's Breaking Bad, whose patents are owned by, or copyright is owned by Sony? And I'd be like, shit. It's Gang Crystal Pump, but it's not the actual account.
Like, that's a fan. That's some fucking psycho in New Mexico. Well, no, not shit. Wait, we can't use New Mexico because that's where it's set. In Montana, some psychopath in Montana made the account. I had no affiliation with it. Zero.
Yeah. Let's also be real. If I'm getting sued by Sony, then I'm probably pretty successful. So
true, you'll have the money to fucking pay for it if Sony's like, this guy's making it.
Because it's so unlikely. I mean, even if I was like, most people have never heard of Apollo Nutrition. Apollo Nutrition has to be pretty successful. Like Branch Warren is a sponsored athlete for Apollo. They've got it. They've got to be pretty big. And when I really think about like, if you have to order a minimum of 1,000 units at a time, these people have to be selling quite a bit of it. Like even if we've never heard of it, they got to be selling units. Yeah. And if they haven't been sued by whoever owns the rights to all the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies that his products are named after.
Oh, is that what that? Oh, is that what that is?
A lot of it, because he's got Time Cop. Time Cop was crazy.
Okay, there's no way.
Both the pre-workout and the movie.
There's no way that's fair use.
Yeah.
Face Off, it's probably 50-50.
It is. Face Off is such an epic movie too. If you haven't seen Face Off, dude, it's an all-timer. Oh, you'd know. It's John Travolta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I have not seen it. Oh.
Dude, it's Nicolas Cage versus John Travolta for who can play the more fucking outrageous character. And I think the winner is Nicolas Cage. I don't know, dude. Travolta goes berserk.
Yeah.
Because they literally face off. They swap faces. And Castor Troy, who was originally being played by Nicolas Cage before face swapping with John Travolta, is the most outrageous villain ever conceived, produced by John Woo. That's the director with the Doves. Dude, that movie's amazing. But yeah, dude, if they're having to do it at least 1,000 units, I mean, and a lot of these people are doing like 5,000 units a time, they got to be moving product and making money.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
I don't know either. But no, I mean, no, you know what?
I was just jealousy for these other companies.
You know what? Let's make that the new goal. Let's try to get sued by fucking Sony and see what's up.
I'd be epic if I did, dude.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, like, if there are people like, if someone like Friday Beers has not faced fucking lawsuits yet for actually selling merch with movies and photos that are actually owned by other fucking people in the paparazzi, if they haven't gotten sued with that shit yet, it's probably fine.
Hybrid did some, a lot of the stuff that Hybrid made, it was 100%, zero margin of argument, was 100% the intellectual property of someone else with the Hybrid logo on it. And they sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shirts. If they didn't get sued by Universal Studios, I'm not going to get sued for Breaking Bad, dude. And there's other products that have way worse ripoffs than me. I mean, mine is loosely based. Yeah. You know, it's funny. You know, it's enough that it's like, oh, I like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But it's not like, this is the Breaking Bad pre-workout.
Yeah. I saw a fucking, what was it? It was the 2005 King Kong movie. It was a pre-workout that just had I think they just ripped it from the actual screen. Like, it looked like a screenshot of that actual gorilla just on the fucking label. I'm like, can you do that? I suppose you can if no one's watching, but like, man.
I was thinking about producing Joe Cool stringers. You know, Joe Camel, Joe Cool.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about just producing straight up Joe Cool stringers. I think that'd sell well.
Might as well. Well, I got my fucking, what is it? I haven't put away my laundry, so it's probably still here. But I have a smoking duck tea that I sell. That's just from an ad campaign from the Montana State Department or whatever the hell it was for health. But it's a duck with a cigarette in its mouth. It's funny. I love it. It's one of my favorite photos.
Dude, smoking is funny. It's 2023, guys. Just admit it's funny.
Admit
it's cool.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it, but admit it's cool.
Yeah. And a cool thing about smoking, I made a discovery. Right? So, when I started doing like the house flips, right? Me and my buddy, we were working on this house after our day jobs when we still had them. And so, you know, I'm off at like 5. We go work till, like, I drive 10 minutes to the job site. We work until like 10 or 11, something like that. Get some hours in. So there was a lot of stress at that time. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna turn to cigarettes quite yet. Like a good construction guy. But so I got some like the original flavor Swisher Sweets from the gas station. The lady gave me shit because she was wondering why I wanted the small ones. I was like, yeah, I just want the small pack of 5. And she's like, what do you want these for? They're so small. I'm just like, well, I'm not putting anything in them. And she's like, you're fucking gross. I'm like, all right, sorry, I'm not smoking weed in these, lady.
Dude, but fucking Ohio gas station attendant can fuck off, dude.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I'm not gonna say anything else about her. I'm gonna keep that to myself. But
I think we can all picture an Ohio gas station attendant.
Yeah, it's also just not. It wasn't a very good area either, so you can probably picture that.
We can continue to notice. One might say
we do notice. You know, God forbid you recognize patterns, right? But I smoked it, right? And I have asthma, right? So it's dumb to smoke anything. But the next morning, I woke up, breathing was fine. Normally, I wake up, I'm hacking shit up, throat feels tight, It's fucking terrible. But that cigar cured it, right? And I was like, there's no way this works. So I didn't smoke the next day. Woke up, hacking shit up, awful. I smoked for 2 days after that, no breathing problems. So, if anybody knows anything about cigars and the effects on breathing, I'd like to know what the science is behind that.
Yeah, it is interesting, and especially from non-premium cigars, because the research is completely different on premium cigars versus non-premium.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's very limited research differentiating between the two of them. But do you smoke premium cigars at all? And when I say premium, I mean I like short fill, like $2 cigars can still be within that.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. Well, so not
it basically precludes or excludes black and milds, because for most studies, black and milds are considered cigars.
Yeah.
And things like Swisher Sweets, which are relatively speaking gross.
Yeah, but hey, it's something to smoke, you know. Well, not normally premium cigars. I did smoke one premium cigar last week. I was at my buddy's wedding. It was fucking big fucker. It was some like molasses infused something from like Montana. It was great. Big fan.
So like for cheap cigars, like I've been smoking these. I think they're called Caruso. They're like $2.50 a cigar. So they're pretty cheap. They smoke pretty quick because it's short filler, but they're unflavored because I also don't like flavored cigars. Factory smokes. Once you're a little bit more used to how cigars taste, like when I was actually, I would say like 1 in 5 factory smokes taste like shit. But they're like $2 each. So you can kind of deal with it. And another different, like, because there's long fill and short fill tobacco, and then you have different qualities that are involved with both.
Yeah.
When you're spending $5 or more, you should be expecting to smoke long fill tobacco, which smokes longer. It's pretty much always going to be smoother smoke. Even at just the $5 range, if you're getting something decent.
Yeah.
But you can still have good cigars that are short fill. It's just, it's going to smoke faster because it's short filler. It's going to potentially smoke less evenly. But the quality of tobacco might be very high, so that can justify paying more for a short fill. But anyway, that's just getting into some of the cigars. But yeah, I'd recommend like trying like a factory smoke. When it comes to cheap ones, I liked the Prize Fighter. It was a solid cheap one. Nica Rustica, if you want to say it with zero accent. Those are pretty good. They've got a nice caricature of a platypus on the label. I like the I don't like the blue and black label as much as I like the red and yellow label. Red, yellow, black label.
Yeah. Broadleaf.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, I can talk about it. I smoke quite a few cigars, and it's kind of funny. I started smoking cigars back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So like 2009 when I first started smoking cigars. And they were not cool at all.
Yeah.
And
so like why? Like
kind of just cause.
Okay, fair enough.
And because it was like, I smoked cigars, and then from smoking cigars, I started drinking black coffee, kind of the opposite path that most people take. Flavor profile wise, they're kind of similar.
Early on.
What's funny is because I went from originally I drank coffee, I would drink it with at least 10 sugars in it.
Okay.
But I went on a date, and it was like so uncomfortable cracking that many sugars open.
Yeah, it's like I'd be pretty embarrassed about that. It's like a 1 second miss. Can I just put my 10 sugars in the coffee?
Exactly, and it makes you look like a child.
Yeah, it makes you a giant pussy for sure.
And I hated the taste of like no sugars in it.
Okay.
Or of like two or three sugars in it. I'm like, fuck it, dude, I'll just do 0 sugar.
Yeah.
And then like 6 months after that, I was like, dude, why don't I just cut the cream out? And then I got used to that. And now I'm.
And then Steve became a fucking man.
That's what they say, brother. But now everybody's smoking cigars. Everybody smokes cigars now. Everybody drinks black coffee now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if it's being ahead of the curve, or if it's just me being insecure at an earlier age than other people.
The Sigma gene was already in you. It just needed to be activated.
Oh yeah,
that's all.
But yeah, I mean, I like to smoke cigars. I smoke almost every day.
Huh.
And big mistake people make is inhaling it.
Fair enough.
Like like when you're smoking cigarettes, dude.
Yeah. Well, so I think that might have been what caused the breathing to be better, because I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll inhale it. And real shit, cigars, you can't inhale them, but the Swisher Sweets you can, and it works.
Well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's tobacco filler, just wrapped in a cigar leaf.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure it's tobacco filler.
Got filler.
I mean, not that. I mean, a cigarette filler.
Oh
yeah. That's what I mean. Because cigarettes, how they make cigarette fillers, they make what they call a slurry.
Yeah.
Of tobacco, water, cyanide, fucking everything.
Yeah.
And then they dip paper in it, accelerants, and they dip paper in it, and then dry that paper, and it dries brown, and they shred it, and it looks like tobacco, and that's actually what's in cigarettes.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was just I thought it was just shredded tobacco. Man, do I feel fucking stupid, huh?
It would burn too slow compared to the paper.
That makes
of a cigarette.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why cigars don't burn fast and cigarettes do? Who would have thought?
Yeah, because like a cigar lasts me like 45 minutes to 2.5 hours, depending on what I'm smoking.
Yeah.
I bought a Liga Privada, number what is it, 16, whatever the number is for it. But I dropped the big bucks. I got a $16 cigar to smoke for when Crystal Pump is back in stock. A celebration of sorts. Because I'm fucking amped, dude. Because like I said earlier, I mean, maybe I would cut that up as like a Giga Chat edit, the fucking motivational talk that I gave about.
Yeah. No, dude, the fucking smoking and updates, I like those. Those are good.
Dude, I get a surprising number of views on those.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because normally with like commentary videos, it normally like, I wouldn't say
like
tank.
Views, terrible.
I wouldn't say tank is the right word, but yeah, it's usually significantly lower than other meme shit.
Dude, I got like 5,000 views on one of them.
Goddamn.
And I've got 2,000 followers, so for me, it's like a crazy performance. And then other ones will get like 500 views, which to me, like a normal, it cycles through my followers. 500 views is usually what I get.
Yeah.
400 to 600, somewhere in there, it kind of falls in there. But yeah, all the smoking and update videos, I don't know if it's just people see somebody smoking and they're like, oh, is he going to give me some life advice? Is he trafficking women? What's this guy up to?
Actually, the cigar might be it, because it's kind of.
It might be.
Because I think if you take out the cigar, it's just another fucking guy talking to your camera. So it's like, all right, skip.
Yeah. You know what did horrible?
What?
Was my Terminator 2 video.
I don't even know if I saw that.
It's
Hold on, did
dude, I said. And it's really embarrassing to say this. I spent an hour and a half making that. It's the longest I've ever worked on like a shitpost video, and it like saying it tanked is kind of an understatement.
How long ago? Oh wait. The one where he walks in the bar.
Yeah,
this one.
I don't know if it's the song. I just chose. Yeah, that's the song. And I don't know if it's just like I just searched ops.
Is that what came up?
And just chose a song that involved the ops that I thought fit well with what was happening there. And I don't know, I'm too out of touch with modern music. And so I'm like, what are the kids listening to? But as you see on Gang Crystal.
Oh wait, no, yeah, I did see this. The twink confirmed. Yeah, I lost my shit at that one. Yeah.
Yes. Huh. I wondered also if it caught that word in there and if it filtered for that.
Maybe.
I don't think it's possible for it to do that though, because I see some shit.
Yeah, dude. Aside from swear words and other crazy racist shit or whatever, like, besides, tits that get shoved in my fucking face every day, even when I say, hey, don't show me that shit. Like, actual porn shows up on my shit if I'm just scrolling reels.
And that's why I say, Mark Zuckerberg, you know what I want you to fucking do right now? Remove these titties from my face.
Yes.
Lead me not into temptation, Mark Zuckerberg. And deliver me from these tits. My wife would not approve of these. Yeah. Take me back to the baby hippo videos that I was scrolling.
Yeah, shit.
But yeah, that video.
I don't know.
I think it's got fewer than 2,000 views. It had fewer than 1,000 for weeks. I was like, how did this video do so poorly?
Yeah. Well,
because I did the one,
and it's like kind of weird because it does have 31 shares, which usually helps.
And the like ratio. So for me, what I noticed is that a 5% like ratio is good.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was at like 20% like ratio for a long time, and usually that means that it's going to pick up steam. Because the cigar talking videos get like a 2% like ratio. It's terrible.
Yeah,
but they still get a ton of views, and so it doesn't make any sense.
Bunch of fakes, haters,
bunch of fucking dude. They're like
phony bastards.
Oh, what is this, Terminator 2?
I think that's literally what happened.
It's only the greatest action movie ever made.
Yeah, no, it's good. I got that shit on. I got a VHS of that one. I watched it as God intended. It was great.
I think totally unironically, that's probably the best action movie ever made.
I would have to think about it, but I can't see where I would disagree with you. But
it's because it's not like Commando where it's a genre specific.
Yeah,
this is an amazing movie because it's genre specific. You have to be wanting to watch an ass kicking action movie for me to say I fucking love Commando.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to want a sci-fi shoot 'em up to want to say that Total Recall is the best movie I've ever seen. You have to want to watch the Taliban fighting off the Russians for you to say that Rambo 3 is the greatest movie ever made. But if you just like an amazing movie with perfect cinematography, with effects, I mean, you got to keep in mind that movie came out, 1992? The effects are completely unreal. Yeah. The storytelling is perfect. They do so much show, not tell. It is the acting, everything about Terminator 2 is totally in line with not just being an amazing action movie, but being an amazing movie. Where I don't think it. I mean, Predator, you can say that for. And even Predator is still more gimmicky, like the handshake, like I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus, like all that shit, is still a lot more gimmicky than the perfection that is achieved by Terminator 2. I think that really might be. I think that's on the list of greatest movies of all time. So obviously, I think that has to be on the list of greatest action movies of all time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I got a lot of them here. I don't. Yeah, it's fucking good.
Just because at every turn, when you can bring anything up, and I'll say, dude, but is it as good of a movie as Terminator 2 is?
Gosh,
and the answer can't possibly be yes. Like, does it have the best action scenes? No. I mean, like, Commando is out of this world of pure action.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like that, and like you mentioned earlier, Rambo 3.
Oh,
that's
dude.
Crazy fucking action.
Unreal. Rambo 2, even. I mean, Rambo 3, I think, takes it a step above. Really, every Rambo movie just keeps on ramping it up until he's fucking like on trend in Rambo 4, and it's fucking sick. I think that's Stallone's best physique of any movie. Dude, Rambo 4, he's for whatever reason like the captain of a riverboat in Vietnam, and he has to take it into into Myanmar or something, and he's like, "Oh no, I don't do that anymore."
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. It's fucking because shout out Walmart again. They got a sort of just like all 5 Rambos, one purchase. It was great.
Does that Last Blood's is last? Yeah, Last Blood is Rambo 5, isn't it?
Yeah, 5. That's 2019.
Yeah, Rambo 4, which came out in like 2007 or 2008. I was in high school, dude. He was juiced to the gills. I don't know if they use CGI or what. His physique is insane. Like, I don't know if it's CGI, but I think that's Stallone's best physique in any movie that he's in. And his Rambo 3 physique is fantastic.
Yeah.
His as far as Stallone physique goes, that's really the movie that I think of more than Rocky 4.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. I mean,
was his physique better in Rocky 3? Nah, Rocky 4 had a better physique.
I think Rocky 4 he was. Yeah, I'm like from Rocky, like from 1 to 3, it's a pretty crazy fucking jump. But I do think Rocky 4 is still better.
Yeah.
I just watched all of those in the last like 2 days.
Dude, Rambo 4, it really, like, they really might use CGI. That's how crazy his physique looks. And it's funny, like now that there's social media, I actually did look back on it. It's not nearly as crazy as I remembered it being, but it's so far and away beyond what Hollywood does for physiques. Like we're talking about an Arnold Terminator 2 physique, but on Sylvester Stallone, because the physiques have really never been comparable. I don't care what anybody says; they've never been comparable.
It's just different body types.
They're completely different body types. I mean, compared to Stallone, Arnold was a mass monster.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like comparing Dorian to Arnold.
Yeah,
they're just not similar.
Yeah. But both are equally like, it's like, all right, like, would you be cool to have that physique? It's like, yep. Like Rocky 4, yep, cool.
Yeah.
Even though it's like very like lean and there's still like mass, but it's not like crazy, but it's still fucking impressive.
Yeah, I'll say that Stallone has always looked healthy, except for Rambo 4, dude. He's fucking built. He's fucking built, dude. It's sick. I think that's his craziest physique in any of his movies is Rambo 4, because he's also old.
Yeah, what?
And he's fucking huge. I mean, he's in his 70s now.
He is. Fuck. So he's 77.
Wow, he's even older than I thought.
Damn.
That's way older than he was in Undercover Grandma.
I didn't see that one.
It's notoriously his worst movie. Arnold's agent put out a rumor that Arnold was considering the role, and that was at the peak of their like rivalry, and so Stallone took the role because there was a rumor that Arnold wanted it, and it's just a fucking horrible movie.
Oh, is it Grandma or Grant? What the fuck is it?
What is it called? I think it's called Undercover Grandma. I forget because I have my mouse disconnected.
Grandma. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot in 92.
Yeah, that's the one. even worse name.
Yeah, Undercover Grandma would have been fine. Like, the fuck is this?
Dude, just wonder what these fucking people in Hollywood, dude. Like, how do you come up with that name? But it's also crazy when you watch movies that are like pre-2004.
Yeah.
It's like they figured it out at some point. They're like, fuck, we just have to make The Hangover, or we just have to make Iron Man. We just have to make these formulaic movies that will take you from point A to point B in the most efficient way possible, and it's going to entertain millennials as well as possible, and that's to trickle down to everyone else. Yeah. And it's when you try to watch something from the 90s, it's tough sometimes.
Yeah. Because
the pacing is totally different. The storytelling is totally different. Everything is way off. And if you try to watch fucking Rocky 1 and you want to watch a 7-minute scene of Rocky talking to his turtles, it is brutal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Movies from the 70s, because like people's expectations were so different.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's tough to watch some of those movies.
It is. But I do wish there was some sort of like, if like I do kind of wish that somebody was making like another Taxi Driver type thing, just like a break from some of the other stuff.
Dude, that movie already happened.
I know.
Joker 2019.
And you know what? Fair enough. It's actually almost exactly like fucking Taxi Driver. You're right.
Which came out in October. October is a gamer history month because this is the same month that Joker came out in 2019. Dude, that's the best movie I've ever seen in theaters. I'm not even kidding. It was so good. At the climax of the movie when he's in the cop car and all that shit's going on in theaters, like I watched it on TV and it's not as good. But when I watched it in theaters, dude, it literally reached a point that I'm like, all right, where is he? Where's the shooter?
Somebody's gonna do something there.
It was so epic that I'm like, you know what, dude? If somebody shut up the theater right now, like, would I even be mad? Like it's like expectations. It was like I was so lost in the movie that I was like, damn, if somebody started shooting it, I don't even know if I'd notice at first. Yeah. Like that's how perfect the timing would have been if a shooter and like our media was like there were theaters that were selling they were not selling individual tickets, like you could only buy 2 or more tickets to Joker. Okay. And I'm like, dude, they're just trying to get somebody to shoot this theater up.
Yes. Incels, you can't fucking see it.
They're denying the target audience, and that's the best movie I've ever seen. And believe it or not, I mentioned The Hangover. That's the same director as The Hangover.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh. Same writer and director. Before he made the movie, directed exclusively comedies before he did the movie War Dogs.
Oh, that's fucking good.
Which
love
I
that
would
movie.
also loosely consider War Dogs to be a comedy. You know, it's a very comedic pseudo documentary because it's also wildly inaccurate.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I think you could put it in as a comedy.
it's hilarious. There's a lot of comedy in it for something that's a pretty serious situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a comedy, but it is. You know, like it's a
Yeah, because it.
it's a drama. It's a drama.
Yeah, it's a drama, and it ends with the arrest and all that, but it doesn't. It never gets like crazy heavy. Like I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty lighthearted.
there's
Even
like the
with good,
one
I
argument
laugh,
between the
dude.
guy and his wife, but it's like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, when they're in Fallujah, it's like still like pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was a funny movie, but like Joker, he made the Joker. It's such a Joker moment too, dude. He made the Joker because he felt like you weren't allowed to write comedies anymore.
Oh,
He
is
felt
that?
like you weren't allowed to tell a joke anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, dude, this is pretty fucking epic. What do you get when you give a director no more comedy movies to make? You get what you fucking deserve, you know? And he fucking blows away fucking not Al
yeah.
Pacino, the other dude, fucking what's his name?
Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Casual. But yeah, well, I mean, but I feel like those films are kind of hard to make now, right? Like, well, I don't even know if I would go watch.
What's the last comedy movie that came out? I'm not even kidding. What's the last comedy movie that came out?
Let's just Google it because I mean, I know other people talked about this.
I mean, the movie would be named something like, dude. The name of the movie would be something like Spotty, and it's about my trans dog or something like that. You know, like it's not fucking funny at all.
Oh
Like,
fuck! I keep seeing the clips of I keep seeing the clips of South Park's thing. I haven't watched the full episode yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, but like shit's always like that, dude. It'll be like, oh yeah, there's this new movie coming out. It's about this empowered minority female who finds out that men ain't shit. And I'm like, well, what's the joke?
What's the fucking joke? Oh well, I guess there was Cocaine Bear. I never saw that. That's probably the closest thing to. That's probably the closest thing to like just a for.
But that's like
movie.
an ironic. Yeah, it's a for fun movie. It's kind of different than a comedy.
Fair enough.
In a way, though, it's a progression. It's a progression of comedy, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, you know what? I'm just looking at this bullshit list. The last Puss in Boots movie, that was pretty good.
I heard that was pretty good. You know what was actually phenomenal was Dungeons and Dragons.
Didn't see it. Heard good things about it.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves 2023 was a spectacular movie. I must say, my training partner even has a Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves T-shirt. That movie was. I strongly recommend it. It flopped at the box office. That's actually probably the best movie I've seen since Joker. I mean, would we consider the Star Wars movies to be comedies? I don't know anymore. The Marvel movies, you know, are those comedies? When's the last comedy movie that even came out?
So, like, I'm looking, and you have the ones, like, you have Strays, which was, like, the talking dog one that was produced by whoever the fucking, like, that's Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx. Again, that's kind of just a for fun movie, but nothing like
I'd never even heard about
Hangover level. I only know it because I saw Friday of Years promo it. That's it. That's the only fucking reason I know about it. But yeah, but no, like nothing like a 21 Jump Street or a Hangover or anything like that. Yeah. Oh, somebody on Reddit asked this in February. Has there been any actually good comedies?
Dude, we're gonna get somewhere on the wide spectrum of opinions that Reddit has. We're either gonna get something that's like crazy woke or crazy racist. There's nothing to be. There's not gonna be any in between.
What do we got? Yeah, the Weird Al Yankovic biopic, but that was on like Amazon.
You know? Yeah, didn't even know it came out. But I mean, it has to come out in theaters, dude. You know, like it's I'm sure some funny shit's come out on Amazon Prime or on Netflix. I don't know about Netflix. Netflix is actually kind of shit.
Somebody mentioned the Weird Al thing. We said funny movies, not cringe 40-year-old Predator bait movies. Fair enough.
That's hilarious.
Oh wait, I didn't see this one. The Nick Cage movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I never saw that.
Yeah, I didn't even know that came.
But I like Nick Cage. Man. He's a good man. Yeah, it's just a bunch of Redditors being Redditors, you know. So.
Well, actually, when it comes to the definition of comedy,
dude, no, it's literally just that.
A tragedy is, by definition, the same thing as a comedy. It's just the difference between, it's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
It's fucking people, man. Pick up a fucking weight.
You could never survive a full serving of Crystal Pump, dude.
There's no fucking way.
It would just weed him out. He would take it and he'd be like, "Oh,
we should do
just shrivel away."
You need to make vials so we can just fucking inject it, shoot it up.
I really want to get into the see that company sells the converted Barbasol containers from Jurassic Park. It's a pretty epic project, honestly, but I really want to crack one of those open and have Crystal Pump in it from the Barbasol can. As a Jurassic Park enjoyer,
okay,
I would love to crack that open.
Oh,
Dowson, we got Dowson over here.
Oh, I see. Okay, huh?
But I don't think I could, because Crystal Pump is 22.5 grams. You know, like it's so much product. I mean, I don't think there's any way I could.
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
I mean, that'd be
like it would be a good gag, but like probably couldn't do it.
Nah. I mean, I'd probably have an easier time just making my own shitty knockoff version. I mean, theirs is like a perfect movie replica. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've gone way off track. I don't even know what of this footage you're gonna want to use for the cast.
Fucking fine. Actually, you know what? We'll have something we'll have some clip for the radio show. What's the whole Aaron Singerman thing? How did Crystal Pump get saved here?
So I went on Minect.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how I learned about Minect. I think I was watching one of the Valuetainment podcasts.
Shout out PBD.
And they mentioned Minect. Yes, shout out PBD. He is like, when it comes to having a wide range of content, it's like he doesn't care if it hits or misses. He's putting it out there.
Yep, that's what I fucking respect about the guy.
Yes, and he mentioned Minect, and I went on there, and first of all, I was like, who the fuck is spending $900 to text Andrew Tate? And all the reviews, dude, all the reviews are like Muhammad Al Jadid, like it's like some Arab prince. They're like, great time, thank you. Like, and I'm like, oh, okay, no shit. Like these dudes who couldn't possibly, like, they probably just like texted him. They're like, just, I love you, Andrew, and he's probably like, thanks, mate. And they're probably like, great time, thank you. Like, they don't give a fuck about $900. Yeah. But I'm going through it, and all the prices are insane. I'm like, dude, who are you talking to on here? And I'm like, Aaron Singerman. Yeah. And
he's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Have you watched that interview from like 2 years ago?
No.
Yeah, no.
I've watched some interviews with him, but never on his show.
Definitely watch it. Yeah, it's I think it might still be on the actual Valuetainment show and not the PBD podcast page. But yeah, no, they have really good interview because it was like right before he went to jail. It was good shit.
Which I still think was bullshit, dude. Like the way it's worded, we all knew what Blackstone Labs sold, and I think that it was just a dark gray area that they decided wasn't gray anymore. Yeah. Unless I'm wrong. I mean, I don't know enough about what the actual evidence of the case was, but from
I mean, I did some content on it when it happened. But I think that was like 2 fucking years ago at this point now. So I forget most of the details, but it was still it was just dumb because all this because it all happened in like 20. It's all based off shit that happened in 2015 after Redcon had separated after Aaron left Blackstone Labs to make Redcon 1. And then
and everything that happened before then, because they sold pseudo legal products, kind of like the equivalent of SARMs today.
Yeah, they were selling pro hormones in their stuff, and it wasn't labeled properly.
Yeah, and they're like, well, they're defrauding customers by selling them anabolic steroids. I'm like, I'm pretty sure everyone knew what they were buying, dude.
They didn't.
Pretty sure. Yeah, people were paying extra for that, dude. You're not buying a bottle of Total War and accidentally getting steroids. It doesn't make sense from a cost perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a cool story. But anyway, I messaged him on Minect because it's $25 per text, which, if we're talking about like business prices, that's really cheap.
Yeah, for the fucking CEO of Redcon 1, you know. So
the current CEO of Redcon 1 to text me back. The cost to call him was like prohibitively expensive, but that also makes sense because he's the current CEO of Redcon 1. But he texted me back within like half an hour. Huh. And he appreciated but the story I gave him, he asked me if I needed a new manufacturer. He put me in touch with one of his guys, and seemingly told that guy some information, because when I talked to the manufacturer, he's like, "Yeah, so Aaron tells me that you got screwed by your old manufacturer." I'm like, "Damn, dude, I didn't even know that Aaron did." I thought Aaron just gave me his email address. I didn't know.
Yeah, no, he straight up said like, "Hey, here's the situation." Nice.
Hey, this guy's gonna be talking to you. Like, I didn't know that he was actually putting me in touch with him. So I sing high praises of Mr. Singerman. I myself am now a singer man.
Yeah.
Of Singerman.
Indeed.
And
we must be.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus their company's in Florida, so it's actually, I mean, it's pretty far from me. It's like almost a 4-hour drive from where I'm at.
Yeah. They're based in Boca, right? Boca
Yeah,
Raton?
basically. They're in I think Delray. It's basically Boca. It's semantics at that point. Yeah, Boca's the biggest. They're down in Boca. I think Redcon's in Boca. But anyway, the manufacturer's in Delray.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha.
They touch each other. It's like they're the same thing. It's like Clearwater Beach versus Clearwater, same damn thing. Yeah, so it's in state. I'm not having to get it from Boston anymore.
It was some bastard in Boston that tried to fuck you.
Bro, not just Boston. They were in fucking they were from Brockton, and it shipped to me from Boyston, which I thought I didn't even know that was a place.
Boyston?
Boyston. Boyston, it's a place. Sounds fake as shit, right?
It does.
Yeah, it sounds fake as fuck. Yeah, so I feel good about it being closer by. And yeah, it was just legit shit, man. I liked it. I liked the guy. The sample I got, the Araya, is way stronger, and so it feels pretty different than before. I think new customers are gonna like the way it feels more than the old formula because it's more distinct. I do think that the old formula filled a niche that I actually wanted to fill, as far as like exactly what that product did.
Okay.
By having level energy for 4 hours, super unique. It's tough to sell that. I think it's gonna be a lot easier to sell that. Like, you would literally take it. Like, I took it and I was like, oh fuck. It was like, because Araya hits within like 15 minutes. You can feel the Araya, and so right away I was like, oh shit. So I think this is gonna feel pretty different, but it didn't have everything in it. So like, without having the full medley of ingredients, I'm not positive if it's still gonna feel like a brick to the face, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Part of me hopes it does.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is what people want. Before, I felt confident advertising no crash, because it was so rare.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like one. It was like less than 2% of people would crash from it, which is crazy low for a pre-workout.
Definitely.
Now I think with the stronger Araya, I don't know. I don't know if I can promise that anymore. So I took it all off the website.
Okay.
It's not bad. Because I don't know if I can promise that anymore. We'll see. I felt fine.
I mean, we'll find out, right?
Dude, it was way better than fucking Godzilla. Talk about, like, dude, these kids talk to me about these products like they're hardcore. It's not. It's expensive, and it has a good amount of caffeine.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you put anything in your body with enough caffeine, you're like, whoa, man, this fucking hits. Like when Bang first came out. You drink one of those and you're like, whoa, man, like, this is fucking nuts. But it's literally just the 300 milligrams of caffeine, and that's really it. Well, add the super creatine, of course. But like, I like things like Ghost. Like, I'm glad that they came out, because that is one of the energy drinks that just, like, I can grab it at a gas station and just it hits real nice. And it's got the alpha GPC. It's got the other shit in it, so it actually, like, affects your brain. Aside from my good friends at UD Energy, of course, love them when I get it by mail. Big fan of Ghost.
And Ghost tastes good.
Yeah.
All the products. One thing I will say about Ghost, all Ghost products taste good. Honestly, I think their pre-workout's pretty solid. I haven't tried their newest one. I did hear some mixed reviews of it, of people who I respect. Their old products, I mean, for being stuff you can buy at the store, is pretty solid. It is pretty lame that you have to buy 2 separate products for stem and pump. You have to take both. You can't just take one. And so it's kind of doubling the cost. So it's kind of like a false sense of value that you get from the pricing. But it does taste good, and it works pretty well. For what it is, it's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Do you got any plans for a Crystal Pump non-stim at some point?
With the minimum orders that I have to do now,
Yeah, which is like thousands of units.
It's getting kind of kicked down the road a little bit because I wanted to do that before the end of the year, but now I feel like I would have to be able to sell 1,000 units of Crystal Pump a month for it to be worth me ordering 1,000 units of stim free.
Yeah,
because I would say that there's a maximum of a 30% equivalency of like market, for me to be able to capture.
Yeah.
Because it's a totally different person who takes stim free.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's a way smaller market, especially for the way that I want to do it because the pump product is separate. I do also want to do a pump product.
Okay.
Probably as capsules.
Okay.
I don't know how positive the market kind of feels about that though, because
that's what like Cloud Power has. They have their pump capsules. So I don't know
because glycerol is one of the best pump ingredients, but glycerol also turns to a solid within a week.
I mean, yeah, like it's garbage in the container. Like, but that's all I use. Like from a non-stim, it's a Nitrox from Project AD. It's like Glycer Size, I think is like the brand name for it. But yeah, no, it's just like glycerol powder, but like it's straight to the fucking pipes. It's outstanding.
Yeah. Yeah. It's phenomenal, but it turns rock hard as soon as you open the container.
Yeah, so it's like you need someone who doesn't give a shit about that. It's like, well, I know this works for
returns. Yeah, you end up with a lot of returns from people who don't know that that's what it does because they think that it's gone bad.
This is clumpy. This has been on the shelf for 5 years. It's old. It's like, no, dumbass. It's just how take it.
It's just like I mean, Crystal Pump. If you leave Crystal Pump open for 2 days, it's going to turn rock hard. If you keep it in your cabinet, I mean, I'm in Florida, so it's super humid. Yeah. But if you have the same bottle of Crystal Pump for longer than 30 days, it's going to get really hard. It's just the nature of L-citrulline. I can't help what L-citrulline does.
Yeah.
And glycerol is 3 times worse. So, but glycerol is super effective.
It's so good.
So it's kind of, and I also want to try some products like Cellflow 6. Cellflow 6 is very expensive, but it's I want to try it. As far as individual ingredients, I hear the most crazy reviews of Cellflow 6.
Skin tearing pump formula. Fuck yeah.
You just looked it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm giving you kids out there who want to steal my ideas, some ideas. But I mean, if you just want to make your own product with the same ingredients as Crystal Pump, it is what it is, man. You make your own company, you put the work in that I'm putting, and you outsell me. It is what it is. But you got to have the startup capital.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, 'cause, I mean, and even like obviously that like was on the roadmap for the Monday Iron stuff. It's not so much anymore. I'm sticking with media and merch, and events is the thing like down the road. But that is all it is though, because like it's all the same manufacturers. It's all like you mostly have the access to the same ingredients. It's just, can I order 1,000 units of this shit? And can I move the product before it goes bad?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have 20 grand and do you have the ability to start marketing it, dealing with customers, managing your website, paying your taxes? I don't know who does that though. But
taxes are gay. Hit max taxes.
Cringe. Yeah. So like I don't really care if somebody wants to take my ideas and do them themselves.
Go ahead and fucking try. I dare you.
Everything that I want to do, Apollo Nutrition has already done.
Yeah.
And everything that Apollo Nutrition, everything that I've done or want to do has been done by Apollon. They've been done by probably Glaxon. They've been done by all these other brands that I respect. Panda. Panda's got like 40. Whatever I make, Panda probably already produces. I don't know how they have so many products.
Yeah.
Panda has so many options. I don't understand how. And they've got a fun branding. People like Panda. They make good product. I'm not Panda. Ninja is a smaller one. People like Ninja who take it. You got Crack Gold. I can't remember who makes that or if they make any other products. All that shit. Everyone's out there. People who are sensitive to somebody stealing their ideas, huge pussies.
Yeah. No, just literally just be better.
Because if you're not creating your own proprietary ingredient, you're probably not very original either. I took a bunch of pre-workouts, chose the ingredients that I like, and made my own pre-workout. And then I decided what was too expensive and what was cheap that I could add it. All the things that go into making a product that you're proud to produce, that also makes sense from a cost perspective, which I'm probably pretty underpriced overall. I think that most business owners would charge at least $50 for what I'm doing, especially with the discount codes and all that shit. But yeah, man, we'll just end up talking for hours if we keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we should have started talking for hours about Crystal Pump earlier.
Probably. But yeah, I'll clip some shit. I probably won't use all of it, but we'll see what's
dude, we get a little edgy, especially when you pulled up the owner of Vitamin Shop's early life section. I mean, we might want to be.
I looked and I didn't find what I thought I would find, but
dude, you look enough, you'll find it.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, no. So if there's if the viewers at home, if you have any doubt that Crystal Pump is an effective product, check the label. It's literally from Gainesville, Florida. That's not a lie. You can look at it. That should be the only answer you need. Any parting words for the audience, Steve?
If we manage to keep it in, it's just to get out of that dark place, man. Give yourself the fun of lifting back. For me, pre-workout's a big part of that. If it is for you, then grab yourself some pre-workout, put on pumping iron, skip straight to the gym scene, sit bit, and go crush a fucking psychotic workout. Those are my parting words for you.
Indeed. Couldn't have said it better.
Fly high. Soar with the eagles, man, and get your freaking wings pumped up, man. Your testicles. Please.
Sounds fucking
Please, I'm begging you.
This has been, do you want to just go by Strongman Steve? You want the full name, or?
Yeah, we do Strongman Steve.
All right.
More people know me as that anyway.
Yeah, fair. This is the owner of Crystal Pump, Strongman Steve. This has been your boy Rafi and Monday Iron Radio. See y'all next time.